Mario, thank you for coming and coming here to talk to me. It's always a pleasure talking to you anyway. How many sessions of talking have we had?
Well, first of all, thank you, people, for having me. Um, I'm proud to be here. Let's talk film. Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot of times. Yeah,
And
about everything. So
yeah,
yeah,
no,
amazing to be here.
we've done so many projects together. You've helped me out so much. You even helped me move. I mean, come on. We've definitely built, I think, a strong friendship
Yes,
since we met, which is so crazy how we met. We can
uh,
go into that story
we'll
later, but
we'll go
yeah, and
to
like we
that.
were talking, the whole point of this is we already talk, and so many times there's so much information going around, and I'm like, people could so benefit from this, and at least find some entertainment, I guess, at the most minimum, who are in similar fields. So happy to record this and talk to you. So for anyone doesn't know, you're helping me write my movie. We've done a lot of projects together. You're a freelance filmmaker
Hmm.
who's gone 9 to 5 are now going back to freelance filmmaking. So
Yes.
long journey. But let's start first with how we met. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we met October. I remember. No,
Yeah.
November
Uh-huh.
2022.
Uh-huh.
No, 2023.
3. So we've known
Yeah.
each other what, about a year and a half? I
A
would say
year and a half.
roughly, yeah.
Roughly year and a half.
And funny enough, I've kind of talked about that story before. It was
Yeah.
Daisy's movie, right? You were
Daisy's
working for
movie.
her.
Yeah.
So obviously, I've talked my perspective. People have heard it, how she
Mhm.
approached me. I think it was in
Right.
Sean's podcast, and what I did. But I want to
Mhm.
know your perspective. You were on the inside man. You were
The
working. You were
inside.
you were her.
Yeah.
You were working for her kind of full time, pretty much, and then
Mhm.
you were also the AD on the movie.
Yes.
You knew everything on the inside. I didn't know. I was just coming from the outside.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of
I
the vision or
remember.
anything.
Yeah, I remember. So okay, we were editing a film.
Mm-hmm.
She already shot like 2 years or like it was 2021.
Okay.
I remember they were in the middle of COVID because
Okay.
they had like mask on
Mm-hmm.
that I saw through
Yeah.
the
So
footage. So yeah, it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we were editing the film. At that time, it was me as an editor with Kip.
Mm-hmm.
He was another editor working with Daisy
Mm-hmm.
in that film. So the thing is, there were a lot of issues
Mm-hmm.
with the film. I mean, there were like whole full days
Mm-hmm.
without audio, like external audio.
Oh wow.
Okay, so the amount of footage that we had to work with,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have a story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we didn't have a full story. Um, so we had to come up with an idea of how to connect and build a story from what we have. I mean,
Mhm.
because obviously when they were shooting, Daisy had like an idea of what she wanted to be like. Obviously, it's a reality show.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that doesn't know, the film's called that one is called Milton This Music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's like a like documentary comedy reality show. But even that, people didn't do their jobs, and there was no story. Okay, so from that, we were okay. We have to write something. We have to write something and then shoot it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when
So basically, they have this footage from a couple of years ago. I don't know. I mean, it's all right. It's not that great quality, in my opinion.
it's
And
not that great.
from what I saw, obviously it was shot a couple of years ago. So who knows what equipment and budget and everything they had. And so you had no story. Basically, you had some content, and you started helping her basically write and build a story or new footage that could be shot to build
Exactly.
it into a movie. Right?
Yeah. So we have like, okay, this is happening, this there with this artist, right? It's about like artists making music for a show. So we start, okay, let's write it from your perspective, from Daisy's perspective. perspective, going through that journey. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's how we wrote this like parallel story uh, about her and her family through one night.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, we came in that from that idea, and through that, then we started writing it. We were like 4 months
Yeah.
writing that. It was like around how much? It was like around 20 pages,
Yeah,
maybe.
pretty much something like that. It
Something.
was,
So I don't
and
remember how many.
you know why I loved it, which is so
Mhm.
crazy because the ask sounded crazy. That's my
The
thing.
what?
The ask from her, the
Oh,
what
the
she
ask
wanted me
is
to
what
do.
she.
So essentially, when I was approached, and like I've talked about a little
Mm-hmm.
bit before, is I was shooting an event for a chamber. She's obviously very active in the community. Which, by the way, Daisy's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I didn't have that much. I didn't know her that well.
Yeah,
So she
right.
approached me. She said, "Hey, I have something I would love for you to shoot." And obviously, you get excited. But when I find out it's an indie movie, I kind of stay away from indie movies because there's not much budget.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge, and
It's
that's not my thing. So I love movie making, but I also do this for money.
of
It's
course
I have bills to
same
pay.
here.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we know how it
So
is.
as soon as I found out it's an indie movie, at first I was about to say no, but then I find the way she wanted to do it. She's like the challenge was very very interesting because it was like, hey, we want to film this over one night, and we have to film like 25 pages, whatever. And to build this movie around some footage I already have. Remember at that time
Mm-hmm.
I had
But
none of
you
this idea.
didn't know what
Yeah,
footage.
what the footage
Right.
looked like, what it did, and I was like, hey,
Yeah.
it won't match. First thing I say, she's like, well, it doesn't matter because the way we're gonna write it doesn't need to match. And I was like, that's very intriguing. And also, she said she wants to do multicam, which is not normal for movies. So she's like, she wants to shoot three
I remember.
cameras.
Yeah.
She wants to do it all overnight. She wants to somehow shoot 20
Yeah.
30 minutes of footage, which is very much like my expertise. Multicam, run
That's your
gun
thing,
type of
right?
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, this is very much like an indie movie, but shot like a corporate movie, but yet at the same time, she's willing
It's
to
a
give me.
narrative, like
Yeah, well, narrative. At least what I shot
yeah.
was narrative,
Mhm.
and then she wanted to give me somewhat of a creative control, like as in obviously it's her movie, your script,
Mhm.
but like I can shoot it how I want to shoot it, which
Mhm.
is what you want to hear as a filmmaker,
Yeah.
right? And so I was intrigued. I was like, okay, you have my attention. And then obviously I came to her office, and that's when I met you for the
That's
first
the
time.
first time we met. So at that time, I think I sent you the script.
Yeah, I think I already had
Before, so
seen the
you-
shot list and
So you or
or
the
seen
and the
the
short
early-
is something. Yeah, you already seen something, but obviously you read that like how can I say that new script for the reshoots, and it's like a short film, like
Yeah,
a
pretty
short,
much.
right?
Yeah,
Like a short, right? So I remember you were a little like hesitant. Also,
Mhm.
I remember that like a little hesitant, like okay, what is this? What is the project? I want to like really understand, right?
Mhm.
I remember that. I remember. So yeah, but
Because
it
if I'm
was-
putting my name, which I don't work for this credit as you've seen. I don't
Mhm.
care. We make awesome content. I don't care if anyone knows what I did or not. I mean, half my projects are NDA, so people never know what we did, and that's fine with me. But this project, since it's a narrative, my name's gonna be on it, and I don't want
Mhm.
my name on anything. So
yeah,
exactly. So
for sure.
so I wanted to definitely know what
Yeah.
was going on.
What
yeah.
what are you doing? Like what are you getting into? So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I know how that feels. Even more if if it's an important project that and it's going to be your
Yeah.
name as one of the main
DPs. Yeah.
DPs, right? So yeah, I fully understand that. So that's why I remember also like trying like really
Yeah.
to really for you to understand what we're doing. And obviously Daisy, she wanted to do everything like you said in one day.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or one night.
One
rather.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, because, and then I said, okay, but most of the shoots we have is at night. So if you want to do everything, well, let's see how. And that's when we decide, okay, let's do it night.
Mhm.
Everything at
Yeah,
night.
all night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and Daisy, she wanted to do multicam because
Mhm.
I told her,
Yeah, the only way you could
there's
have done it.
the
yeah.
only way to do this in one night if you go multicam.
Mhm.
And if you
Which is what got me on. Just so you know, if it was single
So,
cam, I may have
man,
probably said
you
no.
probably
Yeah,
said no. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice. Yeah, because no, there was no other way of shooting.
yeah.
all those pages in one
Exactly.
night.
And that was the challenge that I liked. I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
this is pretty intriguing.
that was the challenge. And yeah, so I remember after that, I think we had one more meeting.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
so funny. So talk about let's go there. So anyway, so I met with her,
Mhm.
and I obviously understood the challenge. I kind of had far more clarity, and I met you.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're strangers, kind of yet.
Yeah.
You're somebody who works for her,
Yeah.
and so we meet. You know, she introduces me, and I'm like, okay, perfect. So you're the AD, so I'm gonna kind of be working with you. And my thing was, okay, so to for me this to happen, I need to bring in my crew, right? People I trust. They don't have to be high. Oh, I don't want to say that. People are great. Point is, they don't have to be the most expensive cam ops and DPs, as long as they understand the task, that work with me, that they can work at the pace that we want to work at, without making terrible content. Right? We obviously all understand we're not making a Spielberg movie here,
Of course.
but at the same time, I don't want to make trash. So anyway, so basically what I think the way I laid out was like, hey, we can absolutely do that. The only way I can do this is I'm gonna have to not be an operating DP, because I need to be able to manage 3 cameras. I need to make sure they match. So I'm gonna need 3 camera operators, and I'd like to bring my own. And then I was like, I'd like to bring a gaffer, maybe some equipment. Obviously, like a van, a grip van would be nice. And then I need an AC. I think we had one AC. You know what I mean? For an indie movie, that was a decent sized crew, right?
Yeah.
And I laid that out. And then she said, obviously, we'll go over everything. And then she reached out to me, and she obviously wanted me to do it. Now, I think one of the most awkward calls I've had, because she expected me to work at indie rates, and I don't do that. Because to be real, I was very reasonable with her. I don't very very much work at like just day rate thing. But like I said, the project was interesting. But I'm like, here's the minimum that I get out of bed for, right? We all have that. So anyway, so she called me, and I was like, okay, absolutely, I would love to. And she wanted me to work at bare minimum rates, and I was like, well, first, I can't find people to work at free or very minimum wage to come work on the project, and then 2, I need to have my bare. So the call kind of went bad, So the first
After
call went,
the meeting.
The meeting went great,
Okay.
but then when she called me to actually sign me up or whatever,
Okay.
I think the call went bad on my side. So I thought, okay, it's fine.
That's
Like
all-
it's
that's
not gonna
fine.
work out. But what happened on the other side? Because now, obviously,
Yeah.
a couple of days later, I got the call saying, "Oh, we'll do it how you want to do it," which I think, by the way, my ask was reasonable. Now, I wasn't. Obviously, we're not cheap, like
No.
but we weren't. I was trying to be very reasonable. I was trying to do the best indie movie thing I could do. But anyway,
I
go
know.
ahead.
I mean, I know the price, and so after that,
all the inside. So you were the AD. So please tell me what happened in that 2 days. Somehow it went from okay, no, never mind, to please, I want you to do it. Please come and do it. So
I remember her. Okay, after that call, she met with me, and she said, I mean, it's too the
It's
price.
okay, you can
the
send
price.
me-
The price is too high. Okay, so I said, oh, okay. Can I see how much?
Mm-hmm.
And she sent me the link for the budget,
Mm-hmm.
and I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like you said, I thought it was very reasonable, for what we needed to do.
Yeah, the amount of
for,
crew, the amount of
crew
equipment.
for one day. Obviously, multicam is not only what come up, is everything by 3.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Plus FX6s. I think we had FX3s.
and the cameras. So good
the
quality.
whole production equipment, lighting, grip van, gaffer. Multiple grips. We even had 2 grips. Anyway,
So and that's when I told her, look, if you really want to do this shoot with a great quality, it's not going to be less than that ever. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you really want to make it right, and this is a story, a project that you really want to finish, I mean, I think this is a good price.
Yeah.
Okay, so and she was like hesitant at first, and then I think she thought about it, and then I think next day or a couple of days, she called you and and she told me, okay, let's go and do it.
And that was so crazy for me to get the call. Which, I mean, to be real, that's not the first time. I've had so many times where the call, which obviously I try to have great meetings, But my whole thing is I'm going to be honest, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to create good content, or at least help my clients. So once I knew I couldn't execute the pricing that she was trying to do it initially at, I told her, and that's why the call ended. So, I kind of move on. But sometimes, clients do realize that and they do want to do it right, which I didn't know at the time. So thank you. You were on the back because, we don't know each other yet. We're not
Mhm.
like friends yet. So that you were, helping, telling her, giving her good advice because you
Yeah.
are from the film
Mhm.
industry. So anyway, so yeah, 2 days later, I get the call. She's like, okay, we can do it. I can provide one other cam up. So I think that was the final compromise that, which is how I met Nat. So great.
Right.
Initially, I was
Right.
hesitant
Right.
too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so it was like, okay, so we'll bring obviously our AD, our production makeup artist, all that was her. So I was gonna bring mainly my
Mhm.
department, right? So it was me, two cam ups, first AC, gaffer, and two grips. I think is ultimately what my thing ended up
Your
being.
crew, yeah.
Yeah, and then so in only person in my department that was not my department, like provided by me, was Nat, the
Yeah.
third camera up.
Was not.
And I was like, that's reasonable. I know what my people are, and this is just me not knowing that.
At the
Which
time, yeah.
yeah, so I was like, okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Here's a healthy compromise, and if that's her budget, then that's
I
we're gonna
forgot
do it.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that, yeah, I think that's something that we were discussing also. Okay, if you don't want that much, well, you will have one less crew, or let's see what we can deduce, like
yeah,
for a little bit of less price. And that's when I told her, okay, you know what? If there's going to be these three come ups,
hmm
maybe he can bring two and one. I can tell
yeah,
Nat. I know that she's good with what she does. Um, and then
yeah,
he can go with his crew, and then with come up, and I also we were also talking about like PAs
uh huh,
and like second AD,
hmm
things like that.
yeah.
We also
Which is great. I mean,
brought it.
that see at the end of the day, that to me is completely fair because
Hmm.
she has a budget. Obviously, she needs to stay within. It is a little, like I said, I was a little hesitant. I was like, oh, I don't know who I'm gonna walk into. Obviously, Nat turned out great,
Hmm.
which Nat has
Of
been on the
course.
podcast, so people have heard from her
Hmm.
side of the story. But anyway, so that to me that was a healthy compromise, and obviously that's how we met. And then once I arrived on set, obviously everything went incredible. I was like, you were such a good first AD. I was like, oh, I have to tap
Thank
into
you.
him. And then, obviously that started eventually after the movie,
Hmm.
started our working relationship or whatever. I think after the premiere of the movie is when it really kind of kicked off. You, me,
Yeah.
Nat, and obviously
Yeah.
on projects.
So after that, we went to the shoot.
Hmm
It was crazy, a crazy night. It
yeah.
was like almost 12 hours.
Yeah, it was really long. And
Oof.
what's crazy though is both you and Nat were kind of not feeling at the best of your health too.
We were not
And
feeling
but you
great.
were both troopers. That's why I knew the only way it got done. Let maybe, and I'm gonna put this on the record. The only way it got done. Obviously, my crew. You met all the people. Now I think it was Emmanuel, Sean, Gio,
Yeah.
me, Brian, and then his two grips.
Hmm.
So everyone I think was on top of their game. But also the two people that that were part of at least helping me, you as the AD, and then Nat as the third
Third come
cam.
up.
Both of you, even though I could kind of tell, okay, you guys are a little under the weather. At no point did you slow down. Rather, you were the one keeping everyone track. Because initially when we started, obviously things are slow, makeup's taking too
Yeah,
long, actors
that's
taking down,
normal.
and which yeah, it's pretty normal.
Hmm.
And you knew after that first scene, like, hey, no, we gotta speed
Keep
up. So you
going.
kept everyone in line. So you did great, is what I'm saying, as
Thank
a
you.
as a first
Thank you.
AD on
Thank
that
you.
shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Uh, I mean, when we started, I was like feeling a little off.
Yeah, you were, but you we couldn't tell. I'm saying when
Yeah.
we started, it was like Mario's great, and then halfway through the night, I don't know if it was
Mm.
we were pushing you so hard, or
No,
yeah.
I don't know what I think. No, not the week before.
hmm
Not she was sick,
Mm.
so I thought
She made you
she
sick.
made me sick. Just at that time, through
Yeah.
that night, at the end, I was like a mess, no energy,
hmm
like fever, sweating.
Yeah.
Oof, was crazy. But yeah, I mean, we have to. It
We have
was
to
only
push
one day.
through.
We didn't have another option, so we have to push through
And I
and
think
do it.
everyone pushed through. So
Yeah,
I mean, we got
everybody.
everything. If I remember, we got just everything but that one drone shot she wanted to get. but we did get everything else
I
outside of
mean,
that. Yeah.
it worked amazing.
Oh yeah, so I do want to know
Yeah.
that. So now, obviously, again, I don't know any of this. So obviously, I shot it. I went home. To me, I thought we killed it. I sent you guys the footage.
Right, the footage.
Now, what's the other side? What did Daisy say, or anything about me, or the crew, or the feedback? Because this is interesting for me. I don't typically talk about the other side that I don't
Right.
hear. So what happened?
Yeah,
on your
so
side?
so
Yeah.
after that, well, Daisy she was really really tired also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean we were all tired. So, but we were happy,
hmm
tired but happy.
Did she
The-
say anything about me or the crew? Or?
That she felt amazing.
Okay, that's
She
good.
felt that because obviously she was also acting,
hmm
but from time to time she saw the replays, like the shoots.
hmm
She was really happy with
Yeah.
everything. So tired, stressed, but happy with what we got, and she had really high praise for you and your team. So and after that, okay, let's go and do the edit, continue
Yeah.
the edit, and see how it comes up, right? Because
Mhm.
obviously with every reshoot,
hmm
well, and this one is like,
I forgot. Also, the audio guy was my guy. Yes, but go
oh,
ahead.
the other guy, yeah, I remember.
Okay, but yeah,
with
which he did great, by the way, Marco. I gotta have him on the podcast. But
Marco.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think it was the audio
Yeah, I
guy.
remember it, on the grip, Brian, right?
Brian was the gaffer,
The
yes, and then
gaffer.
he had two grips with him. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he's great. I remember him also going to a premiere. Okay.
Yeah.
So we start editing, and like I said, with every reshoot, and I mean this one is like a whole new story.
Mhm.
You don't know really what you're gonna get, like story wise.
Mhm.
I mean, we know that the footage is quality,
yeah,
right? But story wise, it's like, let's see if this works, right? Finally. So after that was in November, after 2 months
Mm.
of editing, like video and audio, we were doing like in parallels, like, oh
Mhm.
hey, I'll finish this part and I'll send it to you,
Mhm.
because if not, we're not going to finish, because
Yeah.
Daisy wanted to finish by January.
Mm.
Okay, so
So
we
very
were
tight
all
timeline,
tight, yeah, very tight. And at the end, we did
Yeah,
finish.
yeah. No, you did.
We did, and I remember the screening,
Yeah,
right? Not the premiere.
yeah.
The screening,
no, the
was
screening, yes.
in January, I think, or
Mhm.
February, maybe. I don't remember too well, but I mean, we were
Yeah.
right on schedule. So, and it turned out, I think, from initially what we had to
Mhm.
what we got, I think is a really
Yeah, it's pretty good.
a
I was
great
surprised
achievement.
because no, definitely because again, having done indie movies long time ago, and then so I kind of know what to expect. So I was like going in with I knew what we shot was good. Obviously, rush one night to do that much content. It's not like every scene's perfected, but I think we did great. So coming to the screening, I was very interested to see because I had no idea. This is the thing. You guys told me all the new stuff. I had zero idea how it was gonna mesh. What was the story was. Plus, as a DP, I'm always like, how is it gonna match? Because even though you got Daisy told me it was okay. I'm just like,
you don't know. You
yeah,
don't know
exactly.
the other footage. You don't know the story. I mean, you only know what you're shooting at.
Exactly. So
it's a mystery.
so when I watched it, I really liked. Again, talking to why I started working with you, I knew what you had done, and I looked at the edit. I was like, first of all, this is edited really well, so that was pretty good. So,
Thank
and
you.
then two, I was like, obviously, I could clearly tell our shots were nicer looking.
Yeah,
than the,
and that's
than
what
the
we
old-
wanted.
Exactly. Yeah.
We wanted to really make a difference between what we had,
And
that it
then
was like in the past, in like story wise, and the present that it was.
Exactly, and that's what
for
I
the
liked.
story.
So I think that it made sense finally what you guys were trying to do, but it also made sense why the difference in quality would work, because now everyone knows when we go to the past, when we're in the present, when we go to the past, because the footage is drastically different. But it worked for her story. It worked for her movie. Obviously, it is an indie movie, but I think everyone did a great job for what they were given with, and I also really liked your editing on it. I think you did
Thank
a great
you.
job,
Thank
which
you.
is why I think
Thank
I
you
was
so
like, oh,
much.
we got to work together. We got to
Yeah.
find a way to
Yeah,
connect.
and that's when after the screening,
Yeah.
after the screening,
I think we met or something, right?
Yeah, we were talking. Hey, it was a great job.
And it was you
yeah.
and Nat too, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I would definitely have Nat
Yeah,
back
we
as
were
a
both.
cam op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's when we said, hey, let's work more, right? Why
Yeah.
not? I mean, and that's when we really begin our, like I said, like relationship through work, like through
Yes.
freelance work.
So
So,
that's great. So
mhm.
I know. I'm like, how
That's
random it
amazing.
is, right?
Yeah,
I want people to know it's all about relationships and who you know, but you never know where you meet them.
exactly.
Because
Yeah.
on my side, you have to see. I just initially, like I said, met you as an employee of somebody who's hiring me.
Hmm.
Then at the screening, I come to find out, oh, you also do freelance work. You're a total filmmaker,
Hmm.
graduate of Full Sail and stuff like that. Like your craft. You're a good editor. Obviously, I could see what you did. So at the end of the day, I'm saying, and as soon as we met after that, I think it was something you, me, and Nat kind of met, and and also I like to work with people who are cool and fun. So
Hmm.
you and Nat are cool and fun, obviously. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we got to
Thanks.
collaborate somehow. I didn't know at that time, obviously, what, because it's not like I had a
Right.
project in mind. But I was like, oh, definitely, we have to collaborate. We have to figure out how to work together, because it's about just all about cool people working
Hmm.
together, collaborating, and making good content. I think
Exactly.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
um,
I think that's one of the coolest thing about working in this industry.
mhm,
It's just the people you meet.
yeah.
And I think because of the environment, uh, you you build really strong relationship. So I'm glad that it was with you, and it was crazy how we met, and I'm really happy with all the projects that we have.
Well,
Yeah, for
awesome.
sure.
So now, obviously, as far as the audience knows, we obviously met. We've done this movie. It's been screened. And then, do you remember what was the first project I brought you on?
The first project,
Yeah, where you
Parody?
were.
No,
No.
no,
Damn
it wasn't
I'm
Parody.
even not having a try. I know with Nat, it was the live stream. She talked about that. Do you remember which one was it where you came first?
What live stream?
For her,
Oh,
so
for
she
her.
came. Yeah, so
She
she came.
came
Yeah, so we talked about it. So she
before.
helped me. We did like a ribbon cutting live stream.
Hmm.
She came out and she helped me, which I had forgotten about too. I was like,
Right.
oh yeah, that was great. So that was her first time. Do you remember? Because I kind of am, to be
No,
real, having
yeah,
trouble remembering which one.
mine. Yeah, it was Parody. I remember going to the villages.
So it was the villages that
Yeah,
was the first,
yeah,
huh?
the
So I worked
first.
with Nat before I did with you, huh?
I think so. Maybe because I was still, I was working with Daisy.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a day that I couldn't make it.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know why I thought I worked with you before I worked with
yeah,
Nat.
yeah. I don't
It's
remember.
fine. Either
I
way,
don't remember.
yeah,
But
it's okay. We did
I think
decent
that's
amount
the
of
first
project,
one.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I do remember working with you quite a bit. Obviously,
Hmm.
definitely that project up in the villages. You helped me a lot because not only did you come, obviously, be the cam op with me. There was, I think, the first one we did was we did a few projects with them. I think one of the ones was like recording like a session or something, like a classroom
Hmm.
session, right?
Yes,
And it was like a 2-day shoot or whatever. And
that's the
then I
one.
remember you not only coming obviously in to be a cam out with me, but you also helped me bring equipment because
Yes,
it
in
was
my
so
car.
much
Yeah.
equipment that I needed to bring that at that time, I didn't have my trailer and I was still
Exactly.
using my
Yeah,
truck.
that's the one.
So and my truck can only fit so much. So and I was bringing the rest of the crew with me. So you helped me bring a bunch of the lights. Funny enough, we didn't end up using most of that,
Yeah.
but that's how it works, right? So you helped me bring some of the equipment. You did great. Do you remember anything from the shoot? How was it?
I mean, it was great.
It's two
Obviously,
days of doing the same thing, right?
it was, yeah, it was 2 days.
They wanted, for some reason, they wanted us to capture same thing twice.
Twice, yeah. I think, yeah, it went really good. First time working together. Well, second time really, but
Mm-hmm.
first time working for your company,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, uh, I think obviously at the beginning I was like nervous, like excited also, like
Mm-hmm.
to work with you. With I remember that's when I met Gio,
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Yeah, I think it was the
Yeah,
four of us.
yeah, 4 of us,
When
right?
he fed us the bad food, Gio talked
Yeah.
about that. The stupid Chinese. You were with me, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Chinese food. Oh my god.
That was all his fault. So yeah, we've talked about that story too. Anyway, so that's fun. That's when we met. And did you learn anything new, or I mean, it was a very simple shoot, so I don't want to. But what do you think about the working environment? Because technically, we had worked. You had worked with them on the movie, but only as an AD. not directly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you? I don't know. How was it?
No, I mean it was amazing because you guys, you are really open, really fun, really chill. Like
Mhm.
there's no like bad attitudes and nothing.
Mhm.
And I felt so like confident with
Yeah.
you guys.
Mhm.
Like yeah, I mean I can ask anything. There's no uh nothing bad that can happen.
Mhm.
Really, is there's a lot of trust.
Mhm.
That's what I felt. Uh, so that made my job easier and fun also.
Yeah.
Like fun to be there, excited.
Which is how it should be.
It
It should
should
be
be.
fun. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like people who don't make sets fun.
Yeah.
And then I think you helped me a bunch because that was the month we were doing a ton of content for them. I think you also helped me my bread and butter, which is interviews. You helped me. I remember the shoots where we were going interview B-roll, like we would set different locations. We would go set up the interview. That's basically what I find myself doing a lot.
Yeah.
So how was that experience? Because you have to be on your mark. You have to go, and I think we were able to bring Nat on those two.
No,
she was there because she was the third camera.
The second day.
Oh, second day, yes.
Day,
So
yeah.
she was.
I remember that one. It was crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of breakdown.
Yeah.
And going through different locations, but yeah, it was hectic, but it's fun, right? That's fun.
Yeah, I think once you master that, you can do any corporate and commercial work. Yeah,
exactly.
That was like a mini. So audience knows it's more like I would say mini corporate documentary, essentially what we're doing, right? Yeah. So and we were in clients' homes. That our clients' homes. So you have to be very respectful because at the end of the day, you're not only responsible for representing my company. You're representing the client's company.
Exactly.
So you can't screw around. And you're in other people's homes, that are not even our direct clients.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful. And obviously everyone killed it. Yeah.
And I think in that one, that's one of the freelance that I've learned the most because mostly how to do interviews, like how to light it well.
Yeah, and we did a ton of those just in that.
A ton of those. So after that,
did you learn anything new? Those? Did you like my style? How I do them? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I love your style. It's really you really want to make it cinematic, even as something so simple as an interview. Simple, not like breaking it up, but as like somebody that sees an interview is this is something easy to do. There's nothing difficult about it, but you go the extra mile of always just bring this high quality to all the
and I think the
work.
best thing is to me, people don't know that you put in effort. I hate the filmmaking where, especially in the corporate world, people already know that you're producing these videos where you could tell the interviews produced. You know what I mean? I find it, at least for me, that's just, I don't know, it's off-putting to me. So I like to make my interviews, like I said, we'll completely, if you remember the same one you're talking about, we transformed their office completely. We took out the desk and the chairs and everything. But to the audience at the end of the day, when you look at that interview, it doesn't even look like anything was changed or anything was even lit. I purposefully try to do it in a way, motivated lighting from lamps and stuff, so it looks like natural. But even though obviously we know it's not natural,
but cinematic. So I think that's a thin line to something to look like high quality and natural. Maybe sometimes that can be tricky, but I really love how you light interviews. I think that's one of your restaurant suits.
And if you remember how when we showed up, they were instantly changed everything on us. And that's how you have to be ready on corporate, because we didn't even have much time, because they go, so the plan was, I think we were going to go in, we were going to set up for interviews and then B-roll.
And the clients were already waiting
and
outside.
We show up and we're like, we're on time. And they're somehow thinking, at least their staff was like, you're not. I'm like, no, I have a schedule right here. Anyways, so they already had their clients, and obviously their clients come first. So we had to pivot immediately. Exactly. And what I liked was, and obviously I want to know how you were thinking, because I know I'm in a panic, but as the leader, I have to go. I can't show panic, so I'm like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do: divide and conquer. I go, okay, me and I don't remember who. I took one person with me, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go set up for the interview, and we're gonna do a quick setup. We have 5 minutes to do what.
Mhm.
And then I sent you, I believe, and
And
Emmanuel
yeah.
to go do B-roll. And I was
B-roll
like, yeah,
outside.
that
with
was,
the
they already feel like they're doing
exactly with the
something.
clients, and you
Yeah.
and Gio
Yeah.
setting up the interview.
Yeah.
inside.
So, well,
Yeah.
thank you. You remember more than
I
did.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember
So,
that. Yeah.
so I think the idea was that the clients don't feel, because we got to go in the next 5 minutes. It's like they don't feel like we're not doing something, and by us
Mhm.
doing B-roll, they feel like their time is valid. Because that was why the client was worrying, because they have their clients sitting there, nothing happening, even though again somebody screwed up in the scheduling. But either way, that's okay. But I did like how everyone was able to pivot. There was not an argument or anything.
Yeah.
We go there, even though I'm stressful, I'm trying to make everyone calm, but everyone's calm. I loved it. I was like, hey, here's a camera, go to B-roll, me and Gio quickly. And then obviously once we did get those initial set of clients out, we were all able to come together, obviously make the interview even more cinematic, do how we initially planned them with 3 cameras, and all that. But
Mhm.
initial rush was kind of very hectic, but fun. I don't know, what
Yeah.
would you say?
Yeah. I remember. It's like I remember you saying that. Like I thought the same as you. Okay, let's go. Let's set it up. Well, and then we like we always do, like set up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break and then let's go.
Yeah.
Right. But it was like we put everything. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start shooting. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? What happened? At the beginning, I was like, oh my god. But I think that's
At least you didn't let me see, so that's good. I
no,
couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. But I think that's something that in this line of work is something that you have to get used to. You have to adapt.
Especially in the corporate and commercial
Yeah.
world, you're going to be thrown all sorts of things at you, and you have to be able to pivot. You have to be able to find solutions, because I think that's why we're paid. The main reason, because if it was just pointing a camera, anyone can do it, right? It's not that complicated nowadays. It's mostly problem solving and still being able to deliver quality content and be able to be on top of the story. Because at the end of the day, what matters was the story that we're telling, and now there's a disconnect, because it makes our job harder, because now you guys are doing B-roll with the clients that we're doing the A-roll with, and guess what? You don't know what questions we're asking, what sound bites they're giving us, so the B-roll needs to match. And what I love about you and Emmanuel and other great people that work with me is that you guys know what to expect. As in corporate world, it's not that hard either. But point is, I knew for a fact here, and if you remember the edit, how it turned out amazing. Client loved it, and their clients loved it. Yeah. But what's crazy to me is we were not connected at all, but the B-roll match. They have a soundbite when they're talking about how when they come in, it's such a nice environment. People greet them, and now in the edit, I love it how we had exact B-roll. We had the B-roll of the building,
like it was planned.
Yeah, like we planned it all. There was a B-roll of the building. I think you did that shot, and then the same people from the outside coming in, then from the inside coming in. Them being greeted by the receptionist, the whole shebang. They're happy. Also, them wearing the clothes of the company, like swag. Point is, there was zero connect between at that in the initial rush between the interviews and the B-roll team, and yet somehow our B-roll was perfect, and and matched exactly the sound bites we had from A-roll. So I love that. That we had that synergy. And that's what it's about. I mean, not saying that the shots are overly unique. It's just the knowledge of knowing what to expect and
what to expect.
In the edit.
What you want to shoot for, like, can complement what the clients will say about the company. I think, and I think that's what makes us everybody a great team.
Yeah, we're all just so plus it was fun. Like I said, nobody was panicking, nobody was acting like, whether even if they were panicking on the inside, everyone kept their calm, get the job done.
Exactly. Obviously, it's like what's happening, but after that, you just have to get used to it. Like you said, pivot, and okay, let's go and do it. And I think that's what's fun and amazing about these jobs. It's like, you won't expect in each shoot or freelance job that we have. There's no or on corporate work. There is no day that everything goes as planned. There is something that you don't expect.
Exactly, and that's what makes it fun and interesting, at least for me, because I don't want to do the same thing over and over again.
Each day is unique, is different, and that's why we really like doing that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Any other memorable? Obviously, we did a ton of shoots. My favorite. Let me talk my story. One of my favorite one was so great. I was helping a buddy do a live stream, like a political live stream or
Mhm.
whatever, and it's so interesting. He had his crew, so I'd offered to do all of it, which makes sense anyway. He asked me to just be me and my gear, so I didn't have any of the crew. Right, it was my equipment, me setting up, but it was his crew. But then I guess somebody didn't show up or something like that. But I remember showing up at location, having mostly set up, and the live stream's about to go in an hour and a half, and him going, "Hey, can you get a cam op?" And you were, I think, the first call I made. I knew, I was like, "Let me check. I know you have a job because you're
I
working with Daisy
remember
at the
that
time."
one.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Let me ask Maria first because I knew you'd be on top of it."
Mhm.
Because that's been my experience. You're very willing to do be ready. So I was like, "Hey, Mario, I've got this live stream. Do you want to come be a cam op?" And you were like, "Let me check. I don't know if I can leave now. 30 minutes." I was like, "That's perfect. You're gonna arrive in time. I'll have everything ready." And you showed up, and you
Yeah.
killed it, obviously. And what's amazing to me is the crew that he had hired. Who also was using my equipment because I brought the equipment. So he came in, used the equipment, and then just left.
Mhm.
Versus, which is not appropriate, I think. But what's crazy to me is
we
you
stayed to
came
break
in, we
down.
stayed, we helped him break down,
Mhm.
you helped me break down, and then I was like, I think I could see in his eyes, he could notice the difference between working with good people because both of us stayed and helped him, pack up and everything. Versus, the other guy just left, like
Just left.
literally left, didn't even bother to.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're done.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poof, he
Uh,
disappeared.
yeah,
But yeah.
that's like the best way to not get hired. And I'm not saying like, this is you going above and beyond, obviously, because I brought you in. I would have done it anyway. I know, help break down. But what I'm saying is, you were brought in last minute to be a cam op, right? You came in, you killed it. Obviously, everything was set up by then because we had to go pretty
Mhm.
much immediately. But like I said, this is, and I know this, not just you, and obviously you're great, but other people who've been on podcasts would have done the same thing. Because that's what we do. We at
Yeah,
the
and
end,
that's why uh, you want to work with
yeah,
these people, with me, because you know that we go the extra mile,
yeah.
and we really want, because we are passionate about doing the best content
Yeah.
and the best
And
quality.
at the end of the day, everyone works together. To
Mhm.
to me, it's not that. And you think, I think same way because you stayed, I stayed. It's like it's not that big of a deal if we can help him because he was by himself too. Help him, because he had some of his equipment in there too, some
Mhm.
of his cameras. So I was like, if we can come in, help him, pack up, make life easier. Why wouldn't we? Plus, you help me too, obviously. So I'm saying, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but that's why I think again, I don't know how those other people find work
Mhm.
because I know I wouldn't work with them as a producer. But like I said,
Right.
that was incredible, and I think you made a great impression with my buddy. You were like, "Oh yeah, that's how it should be," because I didn't have to tell you, I didn't say anything. You just did it, like I
Yeah.
did it. Anyway, but that was great. So, and I like that you were able to just hop on, literally last minute, kill it.
Yeah, I think you called me around 3, and I was
Yeah.
there 4.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like
Yeah,
that,
it wasn't that
4:30.
it wasn't
It's
that
like very
late.
quick. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah. Any other?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was what I wanted to tell. But any other stories that come to mind, or anything from any of the shoots we've been on, and which I think is
Um,
quite a few.
yeah, I remember the other one that it was also for. Well, I remember. Okay, so I remember the one for Parody, also for
Mhm.
the anniversary.
Mm,
I
that was a good event.
Yeah, it
And
was
funny
a
enough, I
really.
wasn't even there.
Yeah,
You guys
you
killed
weren't.
it. No, I was
You
somewhere else.
weren't
I don't
there,
think.
right?
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
that's
Nashville
right.
or some. I
Yeah,
was
you
doing
were
some other
doing
shoot.
shoot in another state, but that one, it was really cool. I mean, the the event
Hmm.
was amazing, very well
Yeah,
organized.
they supposedly spent $1 million on 2 nights.
Oh my
So half a
goodness!
$1 million
Each
night
day, each
event,
night.
which is crazy to think about. Obviously, I don't know if this is accurate or not. This is straight from client,
Yeah,
but yeah, which looked like it. I mean,
it
they
looks like
spared no expense.
it was
I
amazing.
think I may have been the cheapest vendor there.
Oh my
I
god!
need to up my prices,
Yeah,
but
next
yeah, go
next
ahead.
time,
Yeah.
Um,
No, but I had a good crew there. I think I had like 9 people there because we provided
yeah,
iMac, we provided
yeah.
a recap video, and then just general recording of the event. Either way, I think I had like 9 people. I think there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we were a lot of people there.
Funny enough, I wasn't there. Like I
Yeah, you
said.
weren't there. But
You guys killed it. That's what
yeah,
I like.
and that's
Bringing in people that you like. Again,
exactly,
no
and
liking.
you know that can do the job even if you're not
Yeah.
there. Um, they can do a really good job. Oh, and I remember that one because that's when I saw the edit from the interviews.
Oh yes,
I
because
saw
it
that
played.
finally,
Yeah, now
and they
that
played it over there
yeah,
in the
which
screen.
is so amazing. And by the way, people, I think that company's so good at marketing. They
Mm.
knew it. That's why they made us make that video. Because normally I'm like 20, 30 minutes is a long time. And you need a captive audience to do that. And then they had the perfect thing. They brought the people there for the event,
And
and they fed them good food, and now they're like, watch,
you
you
have to
know,
watch because you can go
yeah,
outside.
you can't go anywhere, yeah, and which is great. I mean, at
I
the
mean,
end,
that's
they
a perfect idea. Yeah.
because the idea of the video is to build, long term
Relation with
relationships,
the
and also
clients.
promote the company, as in like that they're building relationships and stuff like that. Anyway,
A
but
bond, right? Like
yeah,
a
a bond,
bond, like a
yeah.
connection,
Yeah, because
like
you
a
don't want just
really.
any customer. You're saying like our customers are the best customers. Either way, we built a video, but people have to watch it. And I loved that the way they tied it in. That it was like, hey, we're gonna have this event anyway. Let's show this video here because now we have a captive audience of 2 nights. They're gonna be forced to watch this 25-minute video, and at the end of the day, we're making everyone emotional and happy anyway. But yeah, so it's so interesting because I had seen it. Obviously, you had not seen that video. How'd you like it to be? And
No,
that was a massive LED wall that they were playing it on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
I
shooting.
said we were playing it. I think it was
We were.
Alex and I think Emmanuel were on the iMac. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was shooting like B-roll, but once in a while I was like looking and hearing,
Yeah.
obviously, and it was
Crisp,
like
right? Yeah.
it felt like a short documentary from Netflix,
Yeah.
like about a company
Yeah. And funny enough,
and their
yeah,
clients.
how
It was
fast we
amazing.
moved. Only us knew like how fast. And that's why I tell people and I've said this before again, like people get envious of other people. Like they look at Instagram some in two ways. One, they go, oh, this is so good or whatever. And then the other way is, oh, I could have done it better. I'm like, you don't know the circumstance they were in. As in, like most people, when they would see that video, will have no idea what that rush was that we just talked about a little bit ago,
Right.
where we walk in and it's like, no, get B-roll, get interviews, and then it's like, go, like go pack up one location, pack up another location, pack up another location. We've at most 15, 20 minutes to set up. So you don't know, I'm saying, what the shooting scenario and the timeline looks like.
How it was.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you thought of that, that it looked like Netflix or whatever.
No,
yeah.
it was it was amazing. I love that video. But yeah, I mean that's something that also happens a lot, right? That
Yeah.
people only watch the final result.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know what we like the guys, the people behind go through
Yeah.
to achieve that. Like from I mean from planning the shoot, from going and shoot it,
Mhm.
and then all the go through
Yeah, edit.
post the
And
edit.
also with the edit, like
It's
Julie
a
was
lot
a
of
trooper in
work.
that. Just so you know, it was
Yeah.
we didn't get done because we obviously did that.
Mhm.
It's the other side of it that you don't know. So
Uh-huh.
we did that 2-day shoot, but then which absolutely made sense. They wanted to get the family of the main guy,
Of the owner.
yeah, of the owner, and so we had to go back to his home to get
one
that.
more.
Yeah, so so what I'm saying is, we didn't get all of that footage till like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and a week or so later,
Oh my
whenever.
God.
And then the event was like Saturday or whatever, right? So we went. Like Julie went, I'm saying 3 days nonstop, and I'm gonna commit. Then I'm gonna do it. So 2 or 3 of us, I say me, Julie was a trooper. She did it. She pulled that edit, and remember that's hundreds of hours of footage, hundreds of hours, because that's like at least 15 interviews, if not more, 20 interviews. Either way, she did
Imagine
it.
that. Oh my
Yeah,
God, yeah.
she made that 25-minute video, and the rule was everyone's footage has to be used because we can't record a client and then not
show it.
use that because again they're their client's client.
Right.
Point is, and which is hard because when you're trying to tell a story, you can't be forced to just use foot anyway. So the rule is somebody has to be used a little bit everywhere, and I think she killed it because she did it like I think last time she went like 30 hours or whatever, no sleep, and again, you've seen the footage. I think it came out great. I think it's
so great.
It's
so
the
good.
goal. I think it's every single person working together to at the end to create something awesome, and I
Yeah.
think we all loved it. Making that, so that's awesome. Plus, in general, I think that event everyone killed it because, like I said, I assembled some of my friends and some of the people I trust who helped me on other shoots, and to make that event happen. And because I knew I wasn't going to be there, and I only want people there that I know will execute
Mhm.
without me. Like, I don't have to even tell you guys. Obviously, I pre-planned everything, but and then
Yeah,
but
of
what I
course.
liked was everyone just knew what they were doing, because we even had an interview station. We had like B-roll stations, but not station, but you guys were doing B-roll, and they plus you had to deal with like big, huge confetti cannons, and yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
crazy. But
fun.
you
It was
guys
fun.
made it happen, and you made it
Yeah.
happen on your own. That's what's incredible to me, for nine
Yeah,
people
we
to
were.
show up.
Yeah, right. I remember interviews outside, B-roll, and we were like, okay, go help the interview, and then you go to the B-roll, and then we swap.
Hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, it was amazing. I really like these those type of events. Um, Obviously, I mean, live events are also is different from doing
Hmm.
interviews, right? Interviews is like you go set up
Hmm.
and then record, and then you go to another one.
Yeah,
And live event is like, okay, let's see what's happening,
yeah,
right? Okay, what can be cool, so we can
yeah.
include in a video. So that's amazing. Also, that's really fun. Um,
And
but
by the way, that recap video came out amazing. The client
yeah,
said
I
it was the
remember.
best video they had ever seen of
No,
their company
amazing.
again. I'm like,
Yeah, I remember
we
you showed me
killed
that
it.
one
Yeah.
also. I love
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we,
it's so
we
cool.
definitely killed it for them. So and I'm so glad. I'm so thankful to you and the rest of the crew that helped out on
No, and
that.
thank to you for believing in me, and well, Natalia was there also,
Mm-hmm.
and all the people that were there uh to shoot. Yeah, I think um to find the right people to work
Mm-hmm.
is one of the hardest things,
Mm-hmm.
but once you find those people, you can do great
Yeah.
things.
No,
So yeah.
absolutely. Like I'm telling you, and to me, the biggest thing is even not only the people that shoot, the people that edit. Like I said, it's very
Yeah.
easier said than done to give somebody, like hours and hours of tens of hours of footage, and in 3 days, 4 days to make a 25-minute, mini documentary where you have to tell an amazing story. Without revisions, because again we don't have time for revisions, right? Saturday's the event. So it's like you can't, most editors can't do that, and Julie kind of pushed
Oof,
through and
that's
and
amazing.
created something so beautiful. And I know you're a great editor, so it's like I'm saying, it's like everyone put together. You can't risk it. You can't have like,
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
yeah, everything has to come together.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone have to do their best
Yeah, for that to happen.
to that. Yeah,
Same thing with the
exactly.
recap video. Like I said, it had to be shot, it had to be edited. I was like, I had my vision. I told everyone what my vision was, but that was it. Like, everyone executed. It was done completely without me, and you guys again knocked it out of park,
Hmm.
from the shooting to the iMac to like I said, to the edit. And sharing that with the client, and it's so great. I sometimes want to know, like, I get so much praise. I'm like, no, it's the sure. I do a lot of planning. I did
Yeah, no, I
send
mean,
everything prepared.
do
But
the
that's
most.
but what's crazy though is I didn't do that much, and so the client's like, you did it great, you're the best or whatever, and I'm like, thank you, I feel appreciated, but at the same time it's like, there's all this people behind me. I'm happy to call them friends at this point, because everyone
Yeah,
there
yeah. That's
has
what.
been
That's
great.
yeah. I think
um
we build a really good community of friends.
yeah,
So
and I think
and we work together. So that's amazing.
that's awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we did a ton of projects together, and I'm just so happy. But here's the crazy thing. So I
What?
think the next I want to talk. Not only did we do all these cool
Uh
projects
huh.
last year, so
Oh.
obviously I do corporate and commercial filmmaking. Everyone should know that by now. But obviously my love is filmmaking, and for years I've been wanting to, make a movie, because I would love to. It's just I don't want to make an indie movie, which is why I don't do movies that often, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah.
it's and I mean, we know that indie movies are really hard to make money. So
Yeah, and they're hard
and
to
it's
make
a
money.
and
They
it's hard
don't
to
look.
do. It's hard
Yeah,
to do, and it's hard to
yeah,
make
because you have
money.
to
So.
ask favors. I don't like asking for people to work for free. I don't like any of that. And
Mhm.
and plus, then the end result's terrible. You have to go to the film circuit, and then uh, unless you can. I mean, obviously, there's been great indie
Yeah,
movies
of
made.
course.
But anyway, my whole thing was, if I'm ever gonna make a movie, I want it to look like it belongs. Like you said, Netflix. I mean, again, it's Netflix is just one of the platforms, but I don't want anyone to go, "Oh, good indie movie or bad indie movie. I just want them to go look at it and go, oh, great movie. Hopefully they like it and be like, oh, Netflix or Max or whatever spent a lot of money on this and it's good. Or, oh, they spent a lot of money on it and it's trash. Either way, I just don't, I want them to not know that we made it with
Oh my God.
low or no budget,
Right.
right? And which is very hard to do. Otherwise, it'd be done. The advantage I have is run this successful production company. I have over $500,000 of equipment. I'm like, might as well use it. So, anyways, I've been building the story in my head. I'm obviously not a writer, but for years I wanted to, some of the passion projects like this, I wanted to do this podcast. So we're finally doing it. The other one was to make this movie, but I want to make it in my style. And so for years I was thinking, how can I make a movie that will look good, that'll look like it belongs, that'll look not like an indie movie, but we can do it for a mid to low to actually no, let's say no budget. And it requires obviously a crew and of talented people. And I think the final thing I was like, ooh, what if we do it in what I'm good at, which is talking head and B-roll, right? But how do you make a full length? And I'm not talking short movie. I don't want to make a short movie or a documentary. I'm saying a full length 100-minute movie with interviews and B-roll. Now that's the hard task because now you have to make it interesting because it's just a bunch of people talking to a camera for 100 minutes, maybe with some B-roll. And so I had this idea in my head. So I worked on it, in my head, just building. Now I needed someone to put it on paper, someone to understand my vision, because again, not a writer. And that's where you come into play because you're also a writer. So I think I met with you. I don't think you came over either way at my old place and we sat down.
No, I think before that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before that,
yeah, please tell it correctly.
No, I remember. Before that, there was a time like well, I was working, you were doing your thing, and we said, hey, let's meet. Okay, and that was the time that Nat was working in downtown Orlando in the
library,
public library.
Yeah,
Orlando
Public.
In the video productions section. And so that's when, okay, let's go meet in downtown. And remember, I don't know if you remember that we met in Mecatos.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Yes.
Yeah,
and I tried some of the stuff I'd never tried before.
You never tried Colombia and food. And it was then that you started talking about this idea.
Idea I have,
right?
Yeah,
the movie.
Because at that time I knew obviously we gelled together, so I was looking for people to collaborate.
Exactly,
with.
and that's when you asked me, hey, if you know a writer, like let me know. This is my idea, and we started talking about your idea. And well, I mean, I like your idea. I think it's very, like, a very cool idea to do. Like with interviews, I know that you're great at that. Because we already have worked a lot. I know what you can do, right?
Well, thank you. Yes, yes. If I can't light and make good interviews, then I don't know what I'm doing. Yes.
No, but
and plus this one, by the way, these are not even going to be. Yeah.
Not a lot of people does that. A good quality.
Yeah, and I do want people to know I have a range of interviews. So a lot of time, obviously, majority of them are on the FX6 level, whatever. But then I do a ton for my higher end client, interviews with them, saying those where we have production designers and we build, decent sets, and then we'll have like Arri Alexa minis and mini LFs and signature primes or Cook lenses or something, higher end stuff and big lights, so anyway, and that's what I wanted to do. So anyway, so when we're going to do this, we're going to do it at that level. I don't want to do another FX6 interview. So anyway, so yeah, that's the goal. Obviously that'll be what I'll be doing. But anyway, let's backtrack again to where you were. Yeah.
So, and that's when, I mean, it occurred to me. I mean, obviously, we're working. I'm working with you for this corporate work, but I really love to write. I think it's one of the things about film that I love the most is writing and well, being on sets, editing. But I think obviously I haven't done that a lot because I know writing is like one of the most difficult
Yes.
things to do in the industry.
Especially to do well.
Oof,
You know,
yeah, so it's very difficult. So
if we want to just do it, chat GPT, you know, but to do it well, to
but
do it
well.
entertaining. Because remember, to keep audience's attention for 100 minutes, 90 minutes, 100 minutes, that's a task, you know,
Exactly.
especially what we're trying to do. Because there's one thing with a lot of moving action, drama, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're trying to keep people's attention for 100 minutes just looking at people talking. You know what you can do on a
And that's
documentary,
a
obviously.
challenge. That's
Yeah.
a really
People
good
have done it.
challenge.
Obviously, if you watch, have you watched Chimp Crazy?
Team Crazy. No,
Yeah,
what's
okay.
that?
So that's the guy that made Tiger King, made another
Oh,
documentary.
another
Yeah,
documentary?
about
Oh,
chimps.
that's-
You know, that one I get it. Because, you know, there's good documentaries, obviously,
Uh-huh.
where you can keep watching because the story is so engaging. You can just keep watching interviews. So what I'm saying is when we're trying to make a movie, which is just interviews and B-roll, we have to have such an engaging script and such an engaging plot that people just want to listen. People just want to know what happens next, right?
Yeah. And yeah, so that's the challenge of this project. That
So I want to know. So first time I
Yeah.
told you, I think I don't. Do you remember if we met in person or over video when I told you what the script was?
well, it was there in Mekato. You told me a little bit.
Yeah, no, but when did I tell you the whole story?
The whole story, like with more detail, was once we said there, like, okay, let's work together.
Yeah.
Let's write it together.
Mhm.
And
what made you want to do that? Just because you liked the initial idea?
because two things.
Mhm.
I like the idea, and I like working with you, and I know what you can do.
Okay.
What you can do. So I think this is a really good opportunity
Okay.
to do a great narrative feature film. Yeah.
Perfect. So obviously come over, right? I
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you
I
the
can-
whole story, right?
Mhm.
I kind of blurred it out. Remember, this is just in my head. There's
Mhm.
nothing on a piece
Nothing
of
in
paper.
paper.
Yeah, I've just been building and building and building, and again, you know, I'm just looking at it visually, right? I'm not looking at it what the script will
From the
look like
script, yeah.
anyway. And I've been trying to build plot lines where I would like you know, and I'm trying to build arcs.
Mhm.
So you know, again, the goal I have to keep audience's attention. Things have to happen every
a
5
beat,
to
a beat. Something
yeah.
happens. Something
Yeah,
happens, and
exactly.
that's-
It's like beat after beat after beat, obviously following the triple, you know, the typical arcs. But more often, we're not just doing 3 arcs. We're not just doing like, hey, here's an arc, ends. Another arc ends like a typical movie. We have to do major arcs, obviously, but then there's beats because we understand audience is going to get bored listening to these people. Like everything, something needs to be happening every 5 minutes
yeah.
or 10 minutes at most.
Even
Yeah.
more than in narrative film.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, if it's more commercial or more artsy, the
Yeah.
beats are more spaced out, right?
Yeah.
It depends.
And also, we are trying to make it mass market. We want to
exactly.
make a
So
commercial movie,
exactly.
not a
So
art movie.
that's also a challenge, right? We want to do an idea
Mm-hmm.
that is really not a commercial,
Mhm.
but do it really a commercial for streaming,
Yeah.
right? So we have to have a really good beat
Mhm.
for like, I mean, people talking.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
That's a really
So,
amazing challenge.
No, absolutely said it great. So now you listen to this. Obviously, don't give people any spoilers. They
Yeah.
gotta watch the movie when it comes out.
nothing,
Yeah, but
it's
yeah,
a surprise.
yeah. So obviously now I want to know your perspective. So you listened to the script, right? I blurted out everything. I know you were
was
taking notes and stuff.
like
Yeah,
like
so-
organizing a little bit.
Yeah.
of
So
the
you
story.
have now listened to this. What are you thinking? Because you knew a little bit, but you didn't know all the twists and turns and all that. And obviously, you still had to develop all of it. But point is, you listen to it. What's your perspective? What do you think initially? And you think I was too crazy or what?
no.
Yeah.
I mean the whole other way. I mean, at the beginning, I was interested. Okay,
Mhm.
before that, let's see what was his idea,
Mhm.
and obviously I want to give it a chance because I like writing. But once you told me with more detail,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, yeah, we can really make this happen. Like I was even more sure that this is a great project.
Mhm.
And I was very motivated to start writing like right away. So
Yeah. But when you
Yeah.
listen to it, do you think people are going to be engaged enough? What
yes,
do you think about the
yes.
full story? Like, you know, from my crazy brain. Yeah. From a corporate filmmaker
From a
and a
corpor-
full commercial,
to
entertaining
a-
movie. Yeah.
yeah,
That's just
No,
people talking on
to a
camera.
crazy story. To a crazy story.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a a story that's going to leave audience very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of different twists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that people will not see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's something that's very difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like to come up with an idea that is going to surprise audience, because right now there's so many movies, so many stories that is very even more now. I think to have a script that's going to surprise,
Yeah.
that's going to shock, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to like veer the normal
Mm-hmm.
stories, right? That
Yeah.
we can watch. So
Plus, I like the twist at the end.
yeah,
I wonder how
that's
many people are gonna go
amazing.
watch the movie eventually whenever it comes out and
Mhm.
come back and now listen to this and understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, because
So yeah,
right now it's like, what are they talking about? What are
yeah.
they
Hey,
talking-"
look, if somebody's watching, please thank you. But
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have
No,
to.
but you guys will know. They will know what we're talking about once
Yeah.
they see the film. We're very excited, and well, right now we are doing um we're focusing on the dialogues,
Yes.
right?
So you basically finished the script,
Yes,
and I think we went a
like the
revision or
structure,
two.
right?
Yeah.
The structure
Yeah. The
was on
structure, the
this,
beats, and
the
I think we
beats.
got most of the way there. And I think we both agreed that it was good. We're mostly there as far as the
Mhm.
story goes. We just need to now refine it, and we need to get the dialogue. I want each person to sound, different and engage again. Because remember, our movie is just people talking on camera. I want people to be very clear. That's all it is, right? With maybe some B-roll, obviously.
Mhm.
But I'm like, we need to have each person be very good. Like we have to work extra hard than
Exactly.
people would on characters because they
Exactly.
need to be authentic. They need to be, they need to talk like them. They need to be individuals. And so we brought in a writer, another writer. Well, I guess a dialogue writer because you
Yeah.
you wrote the script. I came up with
No,
the movie story. You wrote it for me, and now at this stage we're working with someone to fix our dialogue. Is that the
yes.
way you would say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I think more than that. Okay, so let's go through it. Well, this writer is his name is Will with
Mm-hmm.
Will Alby. Um, he's one of my friends from Full Sail, and he from the beginning he said, "I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I'm a writer." So he's fully focused on
Just
writing,
writing. Like,
just
unlike
writing.
us, he just wants to do that.
He
Yeah.
he doesn't obviously throughout the studies in Full Sail,
Mhm.
he was in on sets and things like that, but he didn't want to. He wants to write.
Mhm.
I think that, and that's his strong skills is writing. He has a way with words that is so cool, so good for even more for this story. So that's when we met. We met with him, and we tell him the story. You tell him your vision,
Mhm.
and
And that was my thing. I told him. So I was like, "Look, read the script.
yeah,
That's easy. Mario put all the story in there." And then I just kind of wanted to give him my vision of each character because, like I said, it's in my head. I was like, let me also tell you, how I told Mario, because Mario is very great. He has like a 2-pager with every character, who they are, their past, present, future. It may not even in the story. So I loved how you already had fleshed out the characters. When I was like, let me tell you what I think. Let me tell you who the character is inspired by and all that. And now you have all Mario's resources, but now you have initially, me coming up with what I was thinking when I came up with all that. And I think then we basically let you guys, I let you be like, do your thing. I mean, I'm
let's
here
do
if you have
yeah.
questions.
Let's go
So
on.
update me. I don't even know.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
have you
Yeah, no,
guys?
that's
Because I'm like, look,
what are you doing?
obviously I want to make the movie like now,
Yeah, of course.
but I don't want to make it until it's ready. It has to be ready to be made, and I
Yeah.
want you guys to take as much time as needed because no point going to make it until it's ready.
And I think you'll be amazed, and I think you'll feel that it's worth this time
Mhm.
of taking this time to really uh, go through the dialogue
Mhm.
to make it as natural and real as possible, because I think it's turning out amazing. Um, so right now I'm working with Will. Each week we are getting together
Mhm.
to go through no dialogue. Okay, what we do is just go through this section of the story. For example, let's do okay. This section is the first 2 3 beats. Okay, let's go and go through it. Let's discuss the characters. Okay, so the first meetings were mostly okay. Let's see what the characters are. We know that we build these like character profiles for each one. But the great thing about this is that Will have elevated that. Like he's making that character profiles even better.
Look at that.
Okay.
It's collaboration.
So
yeah,
that's amazing. And we are coming up through the dialogue, obviously, to enhance the that character motivation and character background. That feels real.
Yeah.
And
exactly. I can't wait to read it. Plus, you know what I'm more excited about is hopefully, and again, already a writer's meeting here, but I'm like, it'd be so cool, you know, if it's like, you know, how like a real documentary, real movie, when, you know, it could just go back and forth, like, you know, where people are saying contrasting things. I don't know. I like that. And the idea that, you know, somebody's like, this happened, and then the other person we just cut to and says this happened, and then you're like, let the viewer believe, make the decision.
They believe, right?
Yeah, but because that's not our goal to tell viewer whatever. But anyway, that sounds awesome that you guys have been, you know.
So and we like we said, without giving any information, we just met today, okay, like for another review of or revision of the script. And yeah, I mean, it's turning out amazing. We have the family, all the family. Like you know, when you have the character, because you know, you feel that they are real, that you're thinking about them, and you know how they are.
Yep.
Okay, we are at that point. Like we know who they are.
That makes me so happy.
So that's amazing. So now we know how everyone talks, what they feel, what are their fears, their skills, their good things, their bad things, everything. So, and that's making the script so much better. And we are even talking, how can we connect all of these character profiles for the end. Okay.
Look at that.
How these motivations are going to connect at the end. So I won't give it away, but you'll know.
I'm so looking forward to it. And this is live, guys. This is exactly where we are at. But the thing is, I completely trust you at this point, Mario, and that you know my vision. And I'm pretty sure, obviously I haven't seen Will's work yet, but I think once we had that call, I was like, oh, I think he gets it. He gets what I'm trying to do.
He gets it.
And that's the key. You know, people can, obviously great writers may fail when they don't know what the director, the producer is wanting. Here, I think you both get it. Anyway.
And you know why I thought of him? Because I remember he loved writing this kind of stories, like horror, crime, thrillers.
Yeah. How would you describe People Are Movie? Is it what, a thriller, like a crime thriller, maybe?
Our movie?
No, it won't even be a mockumentary, like a fake documentary.
Like a crime docu-fiction. That's what I'm calling it.
Okay, crime docu-fiction. Okay, cool.
That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a new genre. I don't know.
Yeah. But maybe it exists. Who knows? Yeah.
I know that docu-fiction exists. Yeah. So, yeah, crime docu-fiction.
Look,
that's what I'm.
Here's my goal with this movie. Simple as that. I wanted to make it like in a corporate style, which is so weird, or a documentary style. Let's say that. But I want it to look. I want anyone to watch this movie. Obviously, this is an inside audience, right? They'll know. But I'm saying anyone who watches the movie, I don't ever want them to be able to say, oh, was this, this movie, whether they like it, hopefully, obviously, we want people to like the movie. But even if they don't like the movie, I want them to visually look at it, be like, this is the most beautiful looking, indie movie ever type of thing. Like, they shouldn't even know it's an indie movie. They'll be like, oh, Netflix wasted a couple millions on it or whatever, right? Whichever streaming platform that it ends up on, if any at all. Point is, I just want it to be visually good looking. And I think I know we're going to make that happen. And now we're trying to make sure with this writing and the story that it actually is is going to be up there, not
Mhm.
only just visually but also story wise, because the ultimate goal is we want people to just get to the end, right? I
Exactly.
want people to see that end. It's going
Yeah,
to be
and
mind blowing, I think.
I think the really great how can I say, you can have like the amazing visuals like you just
Hmm.
said, but people, if the story is not there, people are not going to watch until the end, and
Exactly.
that's what we want. We
We want
want
people to go to the
to
end,
get to the
because I
end.
feel like we're gonna get. And again, you can try; it may not happen, but I
Mhm.
think our movie has a chance of getting viral marketing because I feel like our end is so cool that people will go and tell their friends, be like, "Did you
Hey, you
see
have to
that?
watch
Yeah,
this.
you have to watch.
There's a
Hopefully
crazy
they don't
ending.
spoil it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but they say, hey, go watch till the end. So, but for us to have that effect, we have to have people, the initial audience, watch till the end, right? That's why
exactly,
we have so many beats to keep it entertaining
exactly.
for people to go to the end. But like I said, this is the best team I could build. So,
Yeah.
and generally we do a good job, right, when we build a team. So I'm excited. Obviously, once we feel like, and that's what I'm saying, like we want to do it fast, but we don't want to rush.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
want to, once it's fully
Fast
ready,
but secure with
yeah,
maintaining the quality. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, I think it's a passion project. At the end of the day, our goal is nothing but to make something awesome. But at the same time, we are making a commercial movie. We are trying to make it mass market. Obviously, ideally, we'd like to sell it to some kind of streaming platform or somewhere. And for us to be able to do it, has to match the content that they're already producing. And for us to do that with a $0 budget, I think that's already going to be incredible. Because remember, this is just a passion project. There's no budget behind it. It's all the people that I know pulling their resources to make it happen.
Mhm.
But I do believe in what we're doing, and do think we can make something that most people won't be able to look at it and go, "Oh, this is just made at $0 or whatever." Like this is made with no budget. I want people to be able to look at it and go, "Oh, they did a good job." Like nothing about the budget.
Yeah, and I have a question for you.
Yeah,
So we know that
yeah.
we want this, like this film, this project to be in Netflix
Hmm.
or any of these big platforms,
Hmm.
streaming
At
platforms.
least what we're going to try.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we are going to try. That's where we are aiming. Um, so I I don't know too much about uh how can people do that. Okay. So what my question is, what do you know about that? I mean,
Look,
what have you figured out or something like that?
my thing is let's first make the movie. That's my
And
style.
then
Then we'll figure it out.
figure out
But
later.
hopefully we'll have someone
Okay.
watching. Maybe they can help us if they're in distribution or whatever. But look, here's the truth. There's so many people out there, maybe
Mhm.
even making great content.
You know what we can do.
Yeah.
Once we have
Hmm.
it's just an idea that just occurred to me. Once we have the final film, like maybe we can, to all the filmmakers in the filmmaker community, I don't know, in Florida,
Hmm. Yeah.
let's invite them to a screening,
Yeah. That would be
or
incredible.
right.
Yes. And get
So
their
all
feedback.
the
Yeah.
filmmakers in
Yeah.
Florida, at least, or okay, let's start with Orlando,
Yeah.
and then we can go wider.
Yeah, exactly. And
Let's go, and they can go watch it, and then hey,
yeah. But
they can.
here's my
Yeah.
thing. Look, like I'm gonna be upfront here, like I've been with everyone.
Mhm.
People all day, every day want to sell their content on Netflix or Penguin to
Yeah, of
Peacock
course.
or whatever. Like there's so many streaming platforms out there now. So that's why I'm like I can't promise anything. But here's
Right.
what we can promise, right? If we make mass market, high quality, and I'm not joking, like I mean like actually high quality, very good scripted content that could easily be put on any streaming platform and it would belong, right? Then I don't think we should have any trouble finding a buyer for it when we start looking to find a buyer. I think our goal is, the good thing is I don't want any outside funding. It would only matter, if you were like, oh, we need funding or whatever, right? Or we need to go take this to someone. My whole thing is I want this to be my and our vision,
Mhm.
and I don't want any compromises. I don't want anyone coming in pre-production and production telling me what to do.
What to do?
Right? We're gonna go out there, and plus I know I can pull my resources. I can get Alexas. I can get those anamorphic lenses that I want to get. Point is, I know I already have all the other equipment and the talent around me.
Mhm.
So the thing is, we don't really need
Yeah.
outside funding. maybe the actors, right? And which I think we're going to do a good amount of time on finding the right
Yeah,
talent. But
that's
the
a really good important thing.
yeah,
Is
very
the
important here
cast.
because
The
the cast
cast
has to
are going to
feel
be on point.
really good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is if we make good quality, high quality content that stands out, it doesn't look like any other indie movie, then we can, if we can stand with these big leagues that are, because I don't want to make another Hallmark movie either. Point is, if we make something really good that belongs, we can then figure out the distribution once we get there, right? I'm not as worried about it. But at the end of the day, even if, let's say, hypothetically, it doesn't sell, I think people will learn so much and we would make such high quality content that it will be okay.
Mm.
Obviously, the goal isn't that. The goal
Right,
isn't
right.
to make something just to go on YouTube or whatever. But if we have to do that, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to try and make it so high quality. We'll try and screen it for all the people in our community. Maybe even some people listening can come in and watch. But obviously, I do want people to know this is not art house cinema. We're not trying to make a critically acclaimed movie. We are trying to make a mass market movie with mass appeal. And so it's not going to be, like you can go obviously find flaws in the story or whatever. Like if you want it to be realistic, I'm saying.
Right,
we're not trying to be realistic. We're trying to make a, like you said, a crime docufiction that people can
engaged.
watch and people can be engaged for 90 to 100 minutes. And then they can watch our twist and be shocked and go tell everyone
And go tell everybody.
to go watch it or whatever. And whatever, then they farm their own opinion, right? We're kind of letting the viewer kind of farm their own opinion. And that's kind of what we're going for. But yeah, I would love for other filmmakers to watch and kind of shred, hopefully critically to pieces. It's okay. It'll be fine. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah, we're not trying to make what do you call a highly like indie
and even the
movie,
best directors.
Yeah.
They have that. They have that.
Especially when you're trying to look at Michael Bay. I mean,
feedback,
at the end of the day, his movies make so much money at the box office, but they're not. They're action flicks, right?
Action.
That's what it
simple
is.
Stories.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Really,
not.
but it's just a spectacle, right?
And some people just want that. Like for example, I love my movies that I love watching that are like you watch it as a filmmaker, right? You watch it for the like an art house movie. But then at the same time, I'm one of those filmmakers. I will happily sit down when I'm having a bad day or not having a good time, watch an Adam Sandler movie. I don't care. It makes no sense. You have to obviously turn your logical brain off.
But
they're fun.
Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, exactly, man. They're fun. They're engaging. I mean, they're making Happy Gilmore 2. Come on, I want to watch that. Yeah,
really? Oh,
exactly.
I'll go watch it. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. And obviously, I'm already expecting. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say this is gonna be uncut gem or whatever, right? Uncut gems. But this is what I'm saying is there's place for all. Like we all sat and watched Tiger King, right? It was so stupid and crazy, but we all did, and that's what I'm saying. There's place for I think all types of.
There's
content.
A market for
everything. Yeah, especially when you're trying to make mass market. We want to appeal to major audiences, not film critics.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we want it to visually look very great. We want it to be a very engaging story. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait for us to finish, start shooting it. Obviously, do you have a timeline? Obviously, again, not to rush you guys.
Yeah.
What do you think? When do you think we'll have a script done? Again, I'm not going to hold you to it.
Being realistic.
Maybe just give weeks. Like, don't give exact dates.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe between 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Okay. I think we'll be there around that time. So, but I'm going to send you a revision next week.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Because we wanted to have at least like 30 pages.
Yeah, so I can
dialogue,
read it, yeah.
So you can go through like
and
a whole bunch to get
a
really good feel of what we are doing. Because maybe 10 pages ago, okay, but so that's what we're doing now. We're doing now. And then after that, now once you get the feel, then another revision will go maybe at 1 hour script. We'll go for a second.
No, I like that. I definitely like that, and that way you guys can be sure. I like it. But to be real, I think at this point I kind of trust you guys. I was already happy kind of with the script. I think we just needed to flesh out the beats with the dialogue, and editing between the dialogue essentially. Point is to just keep it, engaging, keep the audience, engaged. But no, I'm excited about it. Look at that live. We're doing this on this
Yeah,
podcast. Because
that's
genuinely, I
amazing.
haven't seen it since you guys started working together, you
Yeah,
and Will. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to just stick yourself to corporate filmmaking. Like, not saying there is anything bad about it. I love corporate filmmaking. The project with Parody that we were talking about earlier in this podcast, that was pretty much a mini documentary. So you can do enough creative projects just with this, but nothing stops you from still going out there, doing corporate, making money, and on the side pursuing your passion projects,
exactly.
right?
I mean,
You don't have to kill the filmmaker inside of you.
exactly, exactly, and that's, I think, uh, like the people that we're close to, everybody wants to pursue that. Like, we
Hmm.
want to do this type of work, because
Hmm.
obviously we have to have money, so later we can also do this type of jobs that
Yeah.
are more like about our passion, like filmmaking. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's good, they go hand to hand, because without another you
Hmm.
cannot do the other one. So
Plus, as I listen to more and more, and maybe that's why I need to get an indie movie filmmaker up here so they can explain their struggles. Because every time I talk to somebody who loves and is passionate about making indie movies,
mm.
the horror stories they tell me, and that's not the movie script, the horror stories they tell me of sets. And
On
yeah,
set.
yeah, on set, the experiences they've had, and
Mm.
then on top of that, they're not getting paid. It's just horror, and I'm like, I can't
So
imagine people
so
are willing to put
like they say
like how they were
they,
treated, or the
and they
requirements
were
of the job.
supposed to be being paid, and
No,
then
no,
they
no.
said,
The pay is very
or
little
very little
anyway. Yeah,
from the
yeah, yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
Okay,
And
yeah.
if anything, because I'm saying indie
Yeah, I
movies are,
mean,
they're exploitative in a way. But and again, these are other
yeah.
passionate filmmakers trying to make passion projects. Point is, at
It's
the
like
end,
somebody always have to compromise
yeah, and and
for
and
these
and the
projects.
experience I'm saying is horrible for most people on indie movies. So point is, it's not this loved thing. You get into it because you love it, and then you're like, I can't make money off of this. This is or a reasonable amount of money to survive in Orlando. You have to then deal with the DPs or directors who are rude to you or whatever.
Mm.
Point is, the stories that at least I've heard make it sound like something I wouldn't want to do. And that's my goal with this movie, was just to, make something where everyone's proud of it. Everyone can speak up. Everyone will be respected, and we'll all be proud of something to show. Like, you won't be, oh, like, no, oh, it's just an indie. Like, I don't want anyone to even have to say, oh, we had $0 budget or whatever. I want people to be able to be proud of what they show. Like, look, this is what I can make, right?
Yep.
And it should be so high quality that people should have no, or just look like anything that, like I said, that belongs on any nice, fancy documentary or narrative movie. Where nobody should, what do you call, feel embarrassed or whatever, or have that story, where they were
Yeah.
mistreated on the set or whatever, or removes their passion of making indie movies or something like that.
Right.
Anyway, I think it's
That's great. I
yeah.
think that's really something that is hard to find, like, or that happens a lot. Even, yeah, mostly a lot in indie movies, because, like you said, the pay is not good. Maybe the treatment is not that great. There's a lot of issues,
Hmm.
right? People that are not as experienced, right? So a lot of errors. But yeah, I think it's great that you want to do this in the project, but as high quality as possible, and for for the project itself, but also for the people working.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah, because I
amazing.
just want to be with my friends and make something cool, some cool shit. I mean, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna achieve that. I've already talked to enough people that I know, and they've all shown interest. Especially, remember, they haven't even seen the script. Once or know the script, or the what do you call? Nobody knows the twist ending, but you and me, and maybe now Will now.
Mm.
Maybe Nat. Have you told Nat?
No,
No, ooh, and even Nat
nothing.
doesn't know. Look at
No.
that. So I want everyone,
No,
especially I'm
no,
saying when people get
nobody.
involved, which is great. I want
Yeah.
a lot of people to, and Julie doesn't know either. So I'm saying I want a
Great.
lot of people to actually get that shock.
That
But
surprise,
yeah,
because that's also when we show them these
hmm,
people, because yeah, people obviously, well, people close to us can have bias, right?
hmm,
But I think uh, we know that people close to us are also people in the industry.
Yeah,
So they
they're-
know, and they will be giving a really
Yeah.
good experience.
Yeah,
of
these are
what
not,
how is the
yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Yeah.
And plus, we can screen it, we can do a focus test and all that.
Mhm.
But the main thing being is what I'm saying. Like, I'm excited to actually share all the crew that I want to have, the actual script with them, because they'll have to know, obviously, to be able to film it. They'll know the twist, which kind of sucks. But point is, I'm
Yeah.
really excited. I have a very good feeling that so many people that have been on this podcast or other people that I've approached will want to be part of it once they read the script and they kind of actually see the vision that you and I have been seeing for a while now. So I can't wait to just bring in the crew, read them the script, let them see it, because I think once they hear it and once they know the beats and the twists and everything, I think they're going to be even more excited
I'm
to
more
work on
excited
it.
to work. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I think, yeah, I'm so excited. Let's go fast, but safe.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's keep working. I'm excited also to see the rewrite
Yeah.
for the script.
Hey, if
I
you don't
think
like
you're
the
going to love
visuals, you
it.
blame me. If you don't like the script, you blame Mario.
Yeah.
No.
You know who's the guilty one.
Yeah. No. So anyway, let's jump to the other side. So obviously now you're going in very soon independent.
Yes.
Back to freelance
back
life.
to freelance fully.
Full time, all
full-time.
into it, and I'm sure a lot of people listening want to do that. Are you excited? Or what are you? Have you made a strategy, or maybe not yet? It's too soon.
Ooh. I don't have like anything planned really. What I want to focus right now is to get to know more people like in the industry for freelance corporate work. I do want to focus on that because I
Mhm.
think that's the thing that can attract
Mhm.
like I can earn more money
Yeah.
with those type of jobs. So yeah, that's what I want to do. And what I wanted to ask you is, like, how was your experience doing video productions or building your company?
Really fun. I mean, in one way, obviously, there's lots of challenges.
Yeah,
Things weren't easy. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There was a lot of,
because
crap.
how many years you've been doing?
So the
this?
company I think started
With the company.
September 2018. So
That's 6 years.
yeah,
6 years.
6.5 years
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So basically, obviously, like I said, I had been doing freelance video before then.
Before that, right?
Yeah, so plus I'm obsessed with the industry, so I knew about everything that could be known. I'd been on enough sets. But the goal was just to elevate, corporate and commercial video production within certain budgets, right? I was aiming for 50K and under at the time. And, was to just come in, elevate it, get people success. And I found huge success, obviously, immediately, closing, starting with, I think, it was 1K, 4K, same day. Then it was like 7K, then 10K. Like within, I'm saying 3 days. It was
3
like,
days.
yeah, it was, and the 7 was like 3-4 times. Point is, it was like it was a huge amount of sales. And then because initially you go, okay,
And where did you get those clients? Like, or how?
So I talked about this on a previous podcast.
okay.
So, but basically, a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, let's." I have a buddy who wants to make a movie trailer, and he'll give you, and I was like, "Look, $1,000 minimum. That's my start." And he said, "Okay, I can set up the meeting." Then
For a movie trailer.
yeah, but remember, this is a half-day shoot. This is not much
Yeah.
much of a real movie trailer.
Right,
I want you to know this is somebody's passionate about it, and they had something they wanted to do, a one pager or whatever, and I was like, I can do it. Then a minute and a half, and then on the other side, we had set up a meeting through the same friend, like at a college, at a university, and then I had another meeting set up with another local business for the next day. Then I had a meeting set with another service-based business the same day. So basically, it was just going to a
Wow.
meeting. Simple. The first one, obviously, I wasn't that interested. I was like $1,000, and they were like, "Sure, make my trailer. Here's $1,000 straight up." And I was like, "Obviously, you got to pay me up front, sign the contract," because I wasn't that intrigued by that. But it's so funny. I started like $1,000 immediately. Then I was
Yeah,
like
it's amazing.
confident. And then the next one, they were like, "Look, we want to get this testimonial done. This company near us charges 5K. We want it done for 3K. And I was like, look, 3K is too low. Again, we're just
4K.
throwing numbers. I was like, how
Yeah.
about 4K? And they're like, let me think about it. I walked outside, 30 seconds. They gave a call, said, let's do it. And I was like, all right, so you're going to sign my contract. You're going to pay me my deposit. It was very simple. Then the next one, I was like, okay, now I want to get money in person. So we're going to do a meeting. I was like, okay, I can help you. 10 grand. Again, I'm trying to distill it very quickly, but it wasn't that easy, but you know what I mean. And I was like, oh, okay, 10K. Obviously, I'm also diagnosing their problem. I'm helping them. This isn't just me arbitrarily throwing numbers out. But at that time, at least in my brain, I was like, I'm going to walk away with 10K, right? That's just a goal. So I go in, I'm like, okay, I want, 10K. And, he goes, okay, let's do it. The wife goes, oh, let me think about it. I was like, no, you gotta, let's do it now. And then he goes, yeah, what's there to think about? Give him the check, took the $5,000 check.
The wife decided.
Well, yeah. No, I decided. And the husband decided. Wife was just, anyway, no, but obviously we did good work for them.
Right.
Point is, walked out. Then now I'm like, okay, now we're going to go to 15K. Remember, this is day 2. This isn't like months of planning. I'm going, okay, now I want to do 15K. So I presented the project. This one, again, a little arbitrary. I don't like it, but I already had a plan. So I was like, look, here's the package. It's going to be 15K. It's going to be this many videos or this, whatever. And they were like, let me think about it. Same thing. They were like, okay, let's do it. All right, $7,500 immediate payment. Point is, so I sold like 30 grand or whatever in just projects first 3-4 days. And I was like, holy crap, this is great. So that's basically how it started. And then obviously, I had to learn everything. That's what I said there. The opposite side of this, I immediately had to learn.
And you already have the equipment?
Yeah. I'd already been doing. So I had a GH4 and a GH5S at the time from freelance work. And then some lights, some hot lights. And then I immediately went out and bought so I used that for the testimonial, I think, and then I immediately went out and bought C200, one, and then 3 more very soon because I did shoot a brand video for 3,500, and I was like, oh, I don't like that they don't match, so I bought like 3 more, and then I bought an Aperture, I think 120D Mark II. They had a like 3 light kit. I bought that, but I had most of the stuff. I had wireless mics, I had lavs, I had boom mics, the MKH 416 that everyone buys. Then I went out, slowly started acquiring way higher quality stuff like Sheps and DPA and stuff like that. But yeah, I was never compromising on equipment. That was my whole thing. I'm going to make the movie, the quality and the type of sets I want to be on, right? That was the whole point of being a production company. I'm like, no, I'm showing up with the crew. It's not me anymore, right? And I think this set me apart. Because like I said, most people were not doing that, from at that time at least. And plus, I was actually genuinely offering them real advice. So the part that I take out right now is I was genuinely like trying to figure out in these interviews, like, what do you need? Why do you need it? Where are you going to share with it? Who? So I was genuinely invested in helping them. Right.
Interested
in solving the problem, right?
Exactly.
And then obviously the other thing I did was I had all these marketing agencies that I had worked with in the past. So I reached out to them. I was like, hey, I'm doing video production now. We've got an audio engineer. We've got, other people in the team. We've got editors or whatever. Plus I had a cousin in India who does animation. So I reached out to him. So I was like, we can do animated videos immediately. So, it was kind of like just reaching out to every resource that I had and just, and just doing it. And like I said, I had a local production company that I reached out to, didn't get any response of. At first I wanted mentorship, but then I was like, F it. Like, I can only do so much. I went for it. And like I said, it just kept working, kept growing up. There was no just stopping it. But like, I do want people to know the other side of it. There was a lot of sleepless nights. There was a lot of learning how to, like a lot of problems. Like you said, first time the cameras didn't match. So figuring out time code. Then it was like, oh, the 2 cameras. First I meant like match by like they didn't sync properly. I've always done multicam with the production company. The second one was like, oh, the A and B match. Okay, so I gotta freaking invest in another, expensive camera. But mainly I think it was as soon as every time I encountered a problem, I would go solve it. And I think that has kind of at this point made my company so resilient. Like as you see, with just something with data, like I'm like going 2 cards always simultaneous to very expensive cards to multiple drives to servers to online. Like my clients deserve this, this what you call trust. And that's with everything. That's just one thing. Same thing with cameras. I always bring backup cameras. I bring extra cameras Plus, I bring backup
Backup.
cameras for those. So it's just kind of like that. That's just been my style. I'm crazy. Again, so you don't have to do as I do.
No,
Obviously, there's more efficient ways to do it. I'm
yeah,
always like, there's other people like me in your town, owner operators. Just hire them. You're way better off because equipment changes. You're better off renting.
right.
From other people or bringing them on. Be like, hey, look, I'll pay you this much. Bring all your equipment or whatever because the equipment's gonna age. The lighting is gonna age.
Yeah, everything.
Like look at aperture. So I have tons of
everything
freaking
changes.
aperture.
Like even like technology wise, like for
They're
for
changing everything Blair. So everything
film
I have is gonna be old. So I'm gonna have to start switching those out. So I'm saying the unless you're using a ton, the ROI isn't there in investing gear. The only gear that is worth it buying, but again, it only makes sense to buy that gear too, is if you're an audio guy. Microphones don't age. Their prices don't go down because the same MKH 416 is still popular. Same MKH 50 is still popular. These mics have been out for decades. But outside, and that too, only these microphones, wireless and head microphones goes out of style too. Point I'm trying to say is most gear in video production is not worth investing. You should have a bare minimum kit as a DP or as a freelance video. And then anything else, I think my advice is just you should be renting it because then you can easily put that off on somebody else. And there's usually owner operators, unless you're trying to be owner operator, which is fine. But most towns, owner operator. So like me, like I own all my equipment, right?
Yeah,
I'm an owner operator.
You own, okay.
Yeah,
you
but I have more than just
equipment.
some one camera package. Like I'm not just a DP. I'm a full production company. I've got a obviously grip van out there with 2 tons of grip, electric, pretty much every aperture light. And the camera cards, camera, sound, Shep sound, Sennheiser sound. So you know what I mean? I have everything. So you're way, way better off renting from, and then it's not just me. If you go to some other towns, there'll always be somebody like that. You're better off renting from them because now you're passing off. Sure, that's a cost, but it's a cost of doing business that you can write off, that you can also pass on to the client. Exactly. And then now, yeah, exactly. And then you can also, plus owner operators are willing to work. See, what happens is, if you go to my share grid, for example, I'll say the rate is the rate. Share grid's going to take their take. My rate is the rate. You end up paying more versus you get the item. So like you say, I want to rent, I don't know, a Nova, right? Let's say a light, aperture Nova. I'm going to give you the light. I'm going to say, go, right? But if you hire me and I bring my Novas, I'm going to bring bunch of accessories that go with those to be able to tilt them, to be able to sell. Just the light, yeah, because I've actually used it on set and I know what I need to light to make it work for how I want it to work. So the point I'm trying to make is when an owner operator comes, and unlike a rental house, they bring everything because they use it. They know what it needs and you get more out of it. Just like my FX6, I'm not going to bring just the FX6. I'm going to bring these 1 terabyte cards, these lenses, the matte boxes, the filtration, the batteries, extra cables, monitor, wireless transmitter. There's a lot more than just if you say, I want to rent your FX6, then here you go. You get the body and you got to figure out the rest. Point is, there's a lot more to it. And I'm saying that it generally makes more sense. But and the good thing is if you're not getting those higher price projects, right? You're not going out and selling a 6K, 8K, 10K project, then you have zero cost because you never invested anything in it. That's what I'm saying. Do as I say, not as I do, because in my opinion, that's way, way more lucrative. Because if I start to break down my costs every month, they're absurd. Obviously, we do a huge amount of business. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense, is what I'm saying, especially on a corporate to commercial world. Unless, like I say, you're trying to be an owner operator, you want to do a huge amount of work, it makes way more sense just rent
to
it.
go rent it.
Yeah, or just hire owner operators.
And what's your biggest how can I say your biggest cost as with your company, like you said, like each month, right?
Yeah.
You have some. What was your most costly?
Well, the most costly thing is people. Always. People, and then also equipment, and then there's other costs, like taxes, and there's freaking 10 different taxes that you have to pay
as a company.
Yeah. Plus rents, the companies own multiple storage units and stuff, which we're trying to consolidate now.
Right.
Now the company owns vans, so it's the van payment that you have to pay. There's also a rent for now. This location the company has to pay. That's new. What else?
The rent of the
This space, yeah,
this
this
space.
space is new for the
Mm.
company. That was, but also our office. So I have a main office in the Millennium area that costs money. So everything,
Mm.
everything like that. But mainly, obviously, it's always people. But the way I like to do it is I have my editing staff, which is my constant cost. But then the shooting cost varies. So if it's local in Florida or maybe even Atlanta, I like to hire from my network where
Right.
I can use my equipment, my van. Obviously, if it's out of state, sometimes if the budget is there, I'll fly. But otherwise, I'm also doing the same thing. I'm hiring owner operators there. Otherwise, if I don't have the budget or have the time to go there, I'm gonna basically hire locals there
But
to go manage that.
you
Yeah,
don't go.
yeah. Sometimes it,
Sometimes
it
you go,
varies. Yeah, and
but
sometimes I don't
sometimes
go.
you don't go, and then you hire somebody from there to go and.
Yeah, and I'll
But
generally do
somebody you already know,
yeah, that
or
or if it's a new market, I have to find
you
some
have to
owner
find
operators. You
somebody.
have to then vet them. You have to make sure, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I like owner operators because I don't want it to be like, oh, I'm a DP with this camera package. Well, if your camera package breaks, right,
Mm.
or I'm hiring 3 different people because that's the crew.
Yeah.
One of them calls out. I prefer personally to hire owner operators. The advantage is I'm like, okay, you plus it's going to be a 3-person crew, right? So most owner operators are like me. If you call out, right? Let's say you got sick or whatever. You
Uh-huh.
can't come there. I can go dial quickly and get people on the set, right?
Right.
So that's an advantage. Plus, I have my own equipment, so I generally have backups of everything. Like on live streaming when we go, everything I bring a backup of that could possibly fail. Again, anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong during live.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, an owner operator. But versus if I just started renting equipment, it may not come with backups, right? So does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For
that's what
sure.
I like to do. I just push the liability again. That's all we're trying to do. Business owners push the liability on someone
On
else,
somebody else,
But
or
at the same time, they're
the
interacting
client,
with
or
my
somebody else.
client, and I don't want to also ruin my relationship. When they're working with me, they're representing my client. So
Exactly.
when somebody hires me, indirect, let's say a filmmaker,
Mm.
for example, Adam was on here. I'm representing him, so I'm always out there looking for him because I know I don't want to be because whatever I do is not gonna now look bad on me. It's gonna look bad on him, if that makes sense. And that's the same relationship I expect from people I hire, right? Like they're gonna go out there, they're
They're
representing me.
representing you and your company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's basically the biggest cost, I would say. It's always gonna be people and it's gonna be equipment. Sometimes you can merge the two, like I said, by hiring owner operators, or you can do it differently. There's so many different ways of doing this. I've seen it always. I've seen it people where they'll hire employees and do it, right? I've seen it where they're like with me, like it's freelance based. Sometimes it's a balance of both.
Right.
I guess it varies because it's very hard to find consistency. Is what I'm saying. Like even with me, I'm doing so many varied things.
Yeah.
One day I'm doing DP work for a friend, right?
Yeah.
And it could be only a couple thousand. Then the other day I'm doing a $30,000 commercial, right? Then I'm going on a corporate interview set for like 8K. You know what I mean? It's so varied.
Yeah. So very the
Yeah.
how much can you make from project to project?
Like what do you mean? Money or
Like money wise, the difference of like you said, like you go to one that pays just 2K, but then the next day you go to another project that for the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it depends. Yeah. I think the
similar,
biggest So
that you are earning like almost 10 times more.
Yes. So I think
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
best way
saying.
is to scale. That's a very good question, though, Mario.
Yeah.
I think you're the first one to ask me that. The biggest way to scale is to know that you're one person, and it's to bring in other people. So the best way, I'll give you an example. I scale is by doing multiple things at once. So I will be on
Okay.
one set doing one project, right? Let's say you call me. I'm just making hypothetical. You're like, come help me, Whipple. So I'm coming out there and I'm charging you, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000, whatever the rate is. Like come
Yeah.
to help out, just
Yeah.
and you get the advantage. You don't have to buy that equipment. I'll bring the equipment or whatever, right? And then on the other side, like it's a half day shoot. Then I can go the later half be helping another friend. Then on the other side, I have another shoot going on, let's say in New York, that I have hired an owner operator too. So essentially, most of the time, I have 2, 3 things going on at once. Is what I'm saying.
Like
So
three
the
projects
at
at the
once, I'm
time,
saying sometimes on same day, like
right?
the
On the
project
same
we
day.
talked about earlier. I was doing another project in Nashville while the 9 of you were here there. Plus, I had multiple rentals out, and then I had another project I was doing pre-production on at the same time. Right?
Mhm.
You have to be doing. What I'm saying is, you're doing 3, 4, sometimes 5 things at once.
Uh,
That's how you scale if you want to
and
scale.
how um
Because if you're doing one thing at a time, you have a
yeah,
limit. You have only
yeah, that's what
365
I'm
days.
saying. How can you manage all those at the same time?
Exactly. No
Uh,
sleep.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
don't go crazy as me, but I'm also obsessed.
Don't go crazy as you.
But you
Good
see,
advice.
I
Good
mean, the
advice.
good thing is, yeah, like I said, we're friends. You came to my
Yeah.
home for Thanksgiving. You see that I spend time with the family. I
Right.
pay attention to my family.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, I'm not working all the time, but to be real, that's what it takes. At least what I'm doing may not be the healthiest thing. I'm trying to spend good time with my family, but the rest of the time I'm working. I am uh I'm all the time working. I
Okay.
mean, 3 a.m. I'm working, 2 p.m. I'm working. The good thing is I don't find it work because
Oh
I
my God.
enjoy it anyway. You
Okay.
know, as you've seen, like if you come and talk to me, I'm available, right? I can manage my schedule. I'm like, oh, hey, Mario, what's up, right? And we talk. But then you go, I'm back
And
to
then you're
work.
back to work.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And I know that you like doing that.
Hmm.
But had you thought sometimes like it's too stressful. I need like somebody to do this for me,
Yes,
or
absolutely. And that's what,
or you just go, okay, let's go through it, and you don't think
No,
about
I
it's
mean
like
currently I enjoy it and
automatic,
I do delegate. Like I said, I don't do
right?
this just by myself. The only way I can do 3, 4 shoots sometimes in a day is because I hire
Yeah, you hire
incredible
another
people,
super
and then
or
or hire
people.
you and
Mhm.
other people, and it's all about balance. Obviously I can't do it all by myself. So I'm just saying, a people cost is the number one
Right.
cost, and that's okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm all about collaborating, meeting other people. It's not just me, but yes, logistically, I have an assistant, obviously, for emails and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's me. Like I have to discuss and edit. After this, I have to discuss and edit with Julie. And then I have to pack, and like literally 3 hours, I have to be to the airport. So I'm gonna
Right.
get any sleep tonight? No,
No.
no, at all.
No.
Right? And then I have to fly all the way to West Coast. So that's just part of what we do. That's just the truth. And I bet you when I go there, I'm all thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to the hotel and I'm gonna sleep. But watch me, probably gonna end up a client's gonna want to meet or have lunch or whatever. But the point is, it's a challenge. Yes, it's not easy, but if you love this and you feel passionate about it, uh, it doesn't feel like work. The other thing I want to say is you don't have to scale this much. There's other ways, and I want to bring a few other people that have scaled differently, where they have
Uh-huh.
automated and hired people where they don't do as much. But my obsession also is I want to do different types of things. I couldn't just do one type of video. So the better way to find success in video production, in corporate video production, is to niche down. Like my offer is I help, not mine. I'm just saying hypothetically. If your
Right.
offer is I help lawyers which make which help people in the 30 to 50K range, whatever. Like once you niche down, you have an easier offer, right? So you
Mhm.
can automate that. You can find clients. You can automate the content
But you
creation.
don't do that.
I would get bored. Yeah, no.
You
My
don't
problem
do
is
different projects.
yeah,
Okay.
I would lose my mind. So yes, I do the same thing. I either live stream or I go make commercials or I make, interviews and B-roll. I do want to narrow down. Technically, I don't do that much. However, or conferences, I guess. Event shoot some kind of. But everything's different, right? One day we're at a conference of freaking screws, and the next day you're at a conference for, I don't know, yarn. Or, you know what I mean? It's so random and so different that it makes it engaging.
Right.
And then every interview is different. People you're meeting, you hear their stories. Some could be emotional, some could be funny. Point is, I like to, and that's why I like to work in different industries. Same thing, and I love the challenge of live streaming over live action and being able to maximize clients' budgets and figuring out how to do that. Point is,
Hmm.
I like the challenge,
Right.
which makes it harder um, to automate things because it's all so different. And I love that. I love not getting bored because if I got bored, it would be just a job and I couldn't do it. At least my personality
And
doesn't gel
yeah,
well.
and I have a question. So, what do you think is the next step for your production? Like, you want to scale more, I think, what are the next steps?
No, I
Like,
think I
or
want to do, which is so crazy. That's why I'm like doing
well,
this.
I don't know. It's like
No,
thinking about the
I mean,
future, but
no, for me, it's this. To be real, at this point, I'm happy.
uh-huh.
2024 was an incredible year. And for years, I
Was your
was,
best year?
yeah,
You think?
yeah,
You
oh,
think?
definitely.
Mhm.
2024 was the best year. I was also for years saying things like, "Hey, I want to have a dedicated space. I want to have a dedicated van." Like I've talked about.
Finally.
Finally, was able to finish it. Like I said, literally finished 2024 with finished dedicated, production van, grip van, dedicated space to just come hang out with people and be able to record these. Then other thing was I wanted to share because once you get to your revenue goals, you're like, what's next? I wanted to make this podcast. I wanted to share these amazing conversations that I have with people, and I want to make the podcast that I want to listen to. When I'm traveling, like literally, like so I'm on a bit of plane, and I have to struggle to find a podcast that I'm going to enjoy for the 4 hour flight. So something like that. That's been my
Awesome.
goal. So I'm kind of doing it. So to be
Great.
honest, the goal for 2025 is just that. I want to just do what I did in 2024 and find those extra time to be able to collaborate with more. Like
Right.
I would love for you now that you're going to be doing freelance to find your own clients. I would love to be able to
Right.
come on your sets and help you. And then I would love to, because I don't have prep days anymore since I've automated most of the prep process. I would love to be able to go on more sets. I would love to be able to talk to more people like this. So this is technically what I'm trying to do next for me. And as long as I can maintain my revenue from last year, hopefully it doesn't go down. And that's the thing I like about being a private company. There's no one here trying to tell me to, I have to up it year over year. I'm just like, we did great. It
Mhm.
was good. I just want to do the same this year while doing all this extra
The
stuff,
extra
which is
projects.
more projects with friends, more
Yeah.
collaborations that are not mine, and then also be able to continue this, this podcast that I started, and just be able to talk.
Right.
And obviously, initially, I'm doing it with the people that I know and I want to have these
Uh-huh.
talks with.
Yeah.
But eventually, maybe even talk to new people that I haven't connected with yet. Maybe I can hire them; they can hire me. Right? That's all it's about. It's a networking thing.
Exactly.
Because it's not like I'm peddling anything. People have nothing to gain. Like I have nothing to gain out of this. Like I'm not selling people courses or ads or anything here, or
Right.
sponsorships. There's no, code down here to select. Anyway, that's at least what I'm aiming for, right?
Awesome.
What about you? What's your goal with this freelance thing? Do you have a certain goal, or revenue goal, or anything in mind?
Um, I mean, yeah, it's the well, I've been full time and obviously doing freelance also
Mm-hmm.
from time to time with you. So right now I'm really trying to how can I say focus
Mm-hmm.
on a niche, like you said. I
Mm-hmm.
think for me that's something I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because really this is the first time doing like freelance full time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I have to go and connect and meet these people that um can offer me the opportunity to work with them, and also once I find this niche,
Mm-hmm.
they can also work with me on
Yeah.
obviously collaborate with you, and you work also with me once I'm doing that. So yeah, that's something that I want to really focus on this year.
Yeah. No, that's very smart.
Yeah.
Like I was just saying, yes, if you just want to find success, the easiest way to find success, don't make it harder on you like I am. And again, it's also personality type.
Yeah,
I like
right.
it. Like I said, it makes me want to work 18-hour days. Otherwise I wouldn't want to even work 8-hour days if I would get bored.
Yeah.
I've had attorneys especially ask me to do the same thing over and over again, and it gets so annoying and boring.
Mhm.
But anyway, yes, no, that's very smart. Because once you niche down, like I said, once you figure out, hey, look, this is what I enjoy, this is what my offer is, and when you make that offer, what happens is you become an expert, and
Yes.
there's a very huge
And that's
advantage
something that
to being an expert. Because
yeah.
currently, people who are like Bindra. Bindra is like the best, video company for businesses. but then that's too broad, right? Like currently
Like
how people
what
describe
type
me.
of businesses? There's a lot of different type of business. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's happened to me because I mean I've done work with you
Mm-hmm.
like for business for corporations. I've done wedding, a wedding. I've done like photography,
Mm-hmm.
editing. So a lot of different kind of freelance.
Yeah.
But I do really want to this year just focus on a niche.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Do you have anything in mind or not yet? I think you're gonna probably
no,
try a few
yeah,
things, see once you.
I want to try. I want to try different things and then decide what really excites me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like you and my working like whole
Mm-hmm.
day, like 18 hours, and you love it. That's something I want to find also this year for
Yeah,
sure.
I think that, and that's a very deep question to look because
Yeah,
it's an individual question, right? Like I've said so many times, dude, if you just want to make money, there's so many easier things to do in life where you
exactly.
can make money.
Yeah,
Video is not the
video
easiest. I mean,
is not
again,
easy.
it's not hard to make money, but it's not the easiest. But then if you're gonna just have any job, I mean, you might as well have other jobs. But if you love it, right, you can
Hmm.
make a very good living in video. Not that hard. That's what
Right,
want people to know. It's not hard to make living doing video, full time corporate or commercial video. As long as you enjoy it, then it won't feel like you work, right? You don't feel
exactly,
that work that hard, and you can make a good living. Um, but it's not the career to just be like get into because it can pay well, right?
exactly.
Because it's going to be long days. You have to learn so many things, so many entrepreneurial things that some people don't enjoy, like accounting and figuring out,
It's
all
like
the business
a full
stuff.
time job,
Yeah,
and you have to know about everything. I
yeah,
mean, you're doing video, but then, like you said, you have
yeah.
to know
You're doing
about
customer
accounting,
service
customer service,
sometime. Yeah,
PR. I don't know
PR,
everything.
marketing.
Yeah.
You also have to go network with people. It's not the easiest thing, but again, it's not the hardest thing
Hmm.
either. And we have in the past podcast, quite literally, I love how guests have come in and told people exactly what to do and multiple different approaches. And so I love how much resource we're putting out there. And all I want is just more people to succeed. And I want you to succeed.
Hmm.
And I'm here,
Thank you.
obviously, to
Yeah.
help you
Thank
to,
you.
succeed in any way. Plus, my goal would be now, hey, new
Yeah.
goal. I would want to just
What?
hire you more and more. I mean, make this awesome movie. Plus, I love hanging out
Yeah.
with you. So why
Yeah.
not just do more projects?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
who needs you to find a niche if you can just work for me all the time?
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding.
like we said, uh, I think that's how can I say like agreement that we have.
Yeah,
Uh, I can work with you, but I also uh, every time that I can have a client,
yeah,
I will um, represent like Bindra.
yeah.
Okay, I
Absolutely.
think that's something that you you know why because I make the sale
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
said like make a sale to like new clients because that's something that um, I think there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Exactly.
Orlando is it's a city that's a lot of companies are
Hmm.
moving here. Orlando is expanding,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of opportunities. It's just we just have to
and
go
and there's
and
so many companies. And
yes.
what's crazy, it's not just Orlando, any city, guys, just drive around. What's crazy is we close with our eyes, like dude, we go to specific places, like I'm going to Walmart, or
Hmm.
you'll see some businesses with billboards or whatever. That's different. Sometimes go to a business district or an industrial area in your city and you'd be surprised.
How
You'll hear the
many?
name of companies that you've never heard of, and then you
Yeah,
Google
so
them and you
many.
go, oh, this is a
These
legit,
are a
this is a
legit a big.
multi-billion
Yeah,
dollar logistics company that I've
exactly.
never heard of, or this is a this type of packaging company, or they make paper products, or they make this, they make that. Like this, there's so many companies that you've never heard of.
Hmm.
They need marketing, they need video.
Yeah,
So there's so much work out there, and I just that's what I'm saying. And all you have to do is just open your eyes, look around you.
yeah.
And here's the thing, Mario. I want to
What?
continue talking to you, and somehow it's already been 2 hours, my friend. It's
Oh
time
my
to
god.
wrap this up. I know we gotta. I think with you, what I would love to do is once let's make this movie, and I
Yeah,
would love to have you back. I would love
and
to
talk about
talk
the
more.
movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
with
once
with
it's out.
spoilers. Yes,
Yeah,
so I
that'd
would
be
love for you
amazing.
to come
Yeah,
back. But thank you again for coming. Before we go, do you have
yeah.
anything else you want to say, or before we wrap up, or anything?
Well, no, I mean, I feel great with you here. People, thank you again for inviting me. Um, it's very nurturing just to talk here. It felt like The hours passed so fast. uh, and yeah, I'm excited to continue working with you with the projects that we have. Keep building these projects. I'm really excited, and let's make this year another great year.
Yes, 2025
Yeah,
for the win. We're gonna
exactly.
all grow together. You, me, everyone's been on this podcast. Everyone listening, let's kill it. 2025 is our year. No excuses. Just going out there, getting things. So before we also, do you want to shout out your Instagram or
Oh
anywhere
yeah,
people can follow you?
yeah. My Instagram is at Mario Rangelhur, and my website is www.mariorangelhur.com.
Okay, Mario rangelhur.com. We
Exactly.
got it. Awesome. Well, thank you,
Thank
Mario,
you.
for coming. It's always a pleasure. I mean, dude, you just live down the street.
Yeah,
We
I'm
can
right
have this
here. So
conversation anytime.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm looking forward to just making more content with you. Thank you again for coming. It's always a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure to call you a friend.
yeah.
Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you, people. Yeah, amazing.